Isaiah Thomas of the Pistons. Magic Johnson of the Lakers. Two brilliant spark plugs who love the game of basketball. Close friends off the court, but on the days they oppose each other on the court, they're as competitive as they can be. For Magic and Isaiah, today is one of those days. Kelly Tripucka is a prime scoring threat for the Detroit Pistons, making a run at the NBA's upper echelon. Already there, the star-studded Los Angeles Lakers making their own bid to reach the championship series once again. If they do, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 37 years old but better than ever, will lead the way. It's the annual homecoming for Magic Johnson, who brought home an NCAA title at Michigan State. Today at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Magic and his good friend are ready to put on another show. Well, Magic Johnson has never lost, coming back to his native state with the Lakers. They won 5 straight. We'll see what happens today in the Pontiac Silverdome as we welcome you, the NBA on CBS. Hello again, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton, along with my partner, Tom Heinsohn. And, of course, the Lakers are almost perennial teams that go to the championship for the last 5 years. And right now they have a comfortable lead in the Pacific Division, 7 games over the second-place Phoenix Suns. They've won 11 out of the last 12. So, Thomas, I don't think the Lakers show any effects of their loss to the Celtics in the title series. Do you?
I think they put that behind them, Dick, and then some. But I think they've made some subtle changes this year. They've tried to make their team a little bit more physical so that towards the tail end of the season in those crucial playoffs, they'll be able to match up nicely with those big bullies from the Eastern Division.
The Detroit Pistons have been a rocky team. They've won some and lost some. However, they trail Milwaukee by 3.5. A lot of the reasons, they've had a lot of people out because of injury. They had a holdout, but now they have their lineup together. It's 9 games they've had their starting lineup together, but everyone thought they were going to reach the upper echelons of the NBA this year. What do you think?
I think perhaps they will, Dick. But right now, Chuck Daly is in the process of molding his bench contribution. That's been in turmoil ever since they had all those injuries, and those bench people ended up as starters. But I don't think it'll be too much longer before Detroit becomes the Detroit that everybody thought it would be.
Well, it's a tall order to go in with the big 3 of the NBA. We'll see what happens. One thing the Pistons lead the NBA in is in attendance. We have over 20,000 today. It's the NBA on CBS.
The NBA on CBS. Today's game from the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan is sponsored by Miller High Life. Welcome to Miller Time. Speed Stick Deodorant. The wide stick gives you the edge. Speed Stick Deodorant by Menon. And by Mazda and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products.
Here at the Pontiac Silverdome, the Lakers and the Pistons, and here are the lineups. For Pat Riley's Los Angeles Lakers, their front court has Larry Spriggs and James Worthy up front and forward. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the center. And in the backcourt for the Lakers, Byron Scott and Irvin Magic Johnson. Chuck Daly is the coach of the Detroit Pistons, and they'll line up this way. Their forwards are Kelly Tripucka and Dan Roundfield. The center is Bill Laimbeer. And in the backcourt, John Long and Isaiah Thomas. The Lakers are 3 games ahead of their pace of a year ago when they reached the NBA Finals. Detroit is 1 game behind their pace. But last year we had a terrific game, and we expect the same end-to-end battle between these two clubs. And I guess, Tommy, with Isaiah Thomas and that man Magic Johnson leading the way, we would expect nothing less.
This is going to be one of those all-out shooting matches, running up and down that court. A fun game as far as I'm concerned.
Kareem and Laimbeer jump. Detroit has it. Here's Thomas. He's guarded by Byron Scott, so Magic Johnson will start out on John Long, the outside shooting guard. Laimbeer out on top hits. Laimbeer is the only starter for the Pistons, shooting over 50%. And he gives Detroit the lead. The Lakers setting it up. Magic Johnson, Spriggs, and they're looking for Kareem inside. Working now triple team, leaving Byron Scott for a 3-point attempt. Misses. Loose ball, Detroit has it. What do the Pistons want to do?
They want to push it up. They have to push it up to get the easy shots. They don't have much of an inside game.
They are a perimeter shooting team, so they live and die by that. And the Lakers, of course, have developed more of an inside game lately.
When they have to go to half court, they've got Mr. Half Court, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, with that sky hook.
They're looking to free him. Long gets a piece of it, and it's still Laker ball with 9 seconds on the shooting clock.
It's a tough matchup for Bill Laimbeer, who is the only true center that the Pistons have, and he has to really watch out for picking up early fouls against Jabbar.
Here's Byron Scott. Detroit rebound, Roundfield. That's why they got him, acquired from Atlanta, and he's starting to pay dividends. Pulling up Isaiah Thomas, so the Pistons are hitting their first 2 shots outside.
When they push it up the court, it really puts a lot of pressure on the opponent's defense. So the Lakers, who are very fast themselves, will have to hustle back and stop.
Pistons got a delay of the game warning. That's the best way to stop the Laker break, isn't it? Spriggs out of bounds, still Lakers ball.
The Lakers have the type of offense that everybody would like to have. Great speed, they use the fast break effectively, and then they have that power inside game with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Here's James Worthy, who's really emerged as a star in this ball game, and that's one of the reasons why. Second leading scorer, over 18 a game, second leading rebounder, and now he's doing better off the glass on the defensive end. Missing is John Long. Kareem gets the rebound. Here's Magic Johnson. Roundfield, and he's fouled from behind by Larry Spriggs.
A good push-up quickly by Magic Johnson. Had the defense retreating, and he'll take a lot of outside shots, but they need the boards.
Larry Spriggs is a kind of a strange name if you haven't seen the Lakers lately, and we'll tell you more about him. He was the 12th man last year, but he has been starting. This is his 30th start of the year. Laimbeer gets the roll, so the center has 4 points and is now 6-2 in favor of Detroit with nearly 2 minutes gone by. And an offensive foul has been called against Los Angeles, and it's against Larry Spriggs. What's the story with Spriggs?
Spriggs is really a guy that came from out of nowhere. He was 12th man, and all of a sudden he ends up a starter primarily because he's aggressive and has got great speed.
Spriggs is guarding Roundfield. Tough assignment. Danny Rounds can't do it inside, and here's Magic Johnson, 3-on-2. Isaiah comes back in the flow. Magic will go all the way and draw the foul, and that's one thing the Lakers are doing more of, sending Magic all the way inside.
Well, Magic, when he gets the ball, will push it up as quickly as he possibly can to exert pressure on that defense, and if there's an opening, he'll take it all the way.
No foul on the play. The ball was deflected out of bounds, so the Lakers inbounding. Here's Scott, second year, gaining more confidence. Kareem going up, and he traveled. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who, by the way, is officially signed for 1 more year. He'll turn 38 in April, and better than ever. We talked to his teammates yesterday, and they say, boy, Kareem is doing things he hasn't done in years.
Playing more aggressive and seems to be happier playing basketball.
Long looking for Laimbeer. Missing outside. Byron Scott. So already we can see that Laimbeer wants to move outside to take Kareem away from the hoop. Kareem wants to go inside. Johnson gets the roll, and Magic Johnson has his first basket.
Well, watch these Pistons come back and push it up the court right into the teeth of the Laker defense.
Thomas drives. Laimbeer tries to tip it in. Roundfield, and a great defensive play inside. Abdul-Jabbar. Good block by Kareem, and Worthy comes back. Shooting a little off in this opening period. It's 6-4 with 8:46 to go. Pistons lead, and Roundfield will have a chance for a three-point play.
And there you see Isaiah at his best, finding the open man on the fast break. It takes a lot of perseverance to keep pushing it at that defense, and they try and crack you, get your stamina. Here comes Isaiah, finds the open man as he made Abdul-Jabbar commit. Roundfield with the left hand gets fouled by Jabbar.
Roundfield has really come around after a slow start.
Well, he had difficulty fitting in with this ball club. You know, new system, new teammates, when to take the shot, when to pass, how to set up nicely to receive Isaiah's passes, things like that.
5-point lead for the Pistons. Long posting him up is Magic Johnson, watching out for the hand check. Magic doesn't get enough on it, but his follow-up also misses. Coming out of the pack, Roundfield. He's playing much better than when we saw him Christmas Day. Feeding Thomas nicely. Well, before, it was Thomas feeding Roundfield, and now it's the other way around. Magic end-to-end, and now we're getting the kind of game you expected.
Boy, you better get your sneakers going back into the backcourt for defense. Both teams will rush it up there.
8 minutes remaining in the first period. Coming out of the pack is Long. Getting a piece of it is Worthy. Kareem's long pass to Worthy. Touchdown.
And there's a guy that really is an exceptional player. For his size, he's got perhaps the best speed I've ever seen in the NBA, and that means it's history. Well, he can get on the front end of a fast break so well.
Thomas loses it. Spriggs. They get it to Magic. He's got Worthy and Scott. There's Scott. Knocked away. Great defense by the Pistons inside by Bill Laimbeer. On the other end, Long almost traveled, and now they said he did. So it'll be Laker ball.
I'm going to see defense here by the Pistons as Magic makes a fantastic pass to Scott. He was all alone, just mishandled it, allowed the Pistons to get back into it. But you've got to hustle back on the D.
11-8, Pistons in front. James Worthy. Inside, James Worthy.
That's a matchup they'll go to. Worthy, being guarded a little bit by Tripucka, has got a big size advantage.
Both teams are shooting under 50%. Chuck Daly, by the way, has the highest winning percentage of any coach in Detroit Piston history.
The Race Cam gives you a view from the inside. The Daytona 500 on CBS Sports.
Hey, could I tap some of your computer expertise, son?
So you finally gave in.
Yeah, for starters, how does the disc fit into the disk drive?
Okay,
The Army can train you to program, operate, or fix computers.
What does the printer interface do?
it lets the computer talk to the printer.
They talk to each other. What do they say?
Then there's a telephone modem hookup.
And the computer training you get is yours forever.
Like you're not going to be the only computer expert in the family.
Bill Evans can't breathe.
My nose is so stuffed, air can't get through.
Prove it. Would you try Dristan long-lasting nasal spray?
I'll try anything.
It can give you relief in seconds that lasts all day. Can you breathe now?
Think so?
Prove it. Still breathing freely?
Yeah.
Prove it. Prove it to yourself. Dristan long-lasting goes to work in seconds, lasts all day. Or try Dristan regular.
Feel it, feel it, feel it. That Noxema feeling. Feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. Feel it oh so close.
It's here. Noxema Shave Cream for extra sensitive skin. Feel that soothing blue lather protecting you from irritation. Feel the closeness. Feel the comfort.
Feel it oh so close.
Medicated Noxema Shave Cream for extra sensitive skin.
That Noxema feeling. Feel it oh so close.
We're back in the first period, and let's bring you up to date with last night's scores in the NBA. The Celtics beat Atlanta. You'll see highlights of that game. Boston leading Philadelphia by a game in the Atlantic. Cleveland beat Chicago 18,000 in Richfield. World free 32 points. The Knicks continue to stumble. That's a record 11 losses in a row on the road. Phoenix over Utah. Larry Nance at 24 points. And the team that Pat Riley told us may be the second best in the Pacific. The LA Clippers beat Golden State.
I like the Clippers. I think they're going to make a strong move the second half of the season.
7 minutes to go in the first period. In low to Laimbeer. He's not going to go up against Kareem. Thomas guarded well by Byron Scott, and Spriggs got a piece of it, and Roundfield fights in. Danny Roundfield is playing an all-star kind of forward to start this game. He has 5 rebounds and 5 points, and it's a 3-point lead again for Detroit. Scott has a screen, but a 3-second violation called against the Lakers.
Pat Riley not too happy with the way his ball club has approached this game right now. They're not pushing it up as well as he'd like them to, I think, and their half-court offense isn't functioning as well as he'd like.
Here's Lane Beer. Kareem, Worthy just blew right by Isaiah Thomas and close to the hoop. He missed the shot. Thomas coming back against Kareem. Little dribble behind his legs, and here's Long going in with a good play. So a little fancy Dan basketball by the Detroit Pistons, and they're up by 5, nearly halfway through this opening period.
And Isaiah will get it to the guy who he feels can score. Long, a great outside shooter, put a move on him, drove all the way.
Double team Kareem, takes the inside move. And the unstoppable skyhook.
Who gets at that shot? Nobody.
Thomas beating Roundfield. That combination has worked one way or another several times this period, Tom.
Well, Spriggs is losing Roundfield on that fast break, and he's got to get it up the court in order to stop Roundfield. I think this is Roundfield's first exposure to national television, and he likes it.
James Worthy on a turnaround. He has 8 points. He has 8 of the Lakers' 14 points. 5:25 remaining first period. Well, Roundfield, Thomas, and Thomas have really done a job in this opening period. Isaiah misses there. Loose ball, and here is Spriggs, who was originally with Houston, played with Chicago and the Continental Basketball Association, and amazingly finds himself starting with the Western Conference champions. Kareem, great pass by Magic, but again, Roundfield's defense inside did the job. Here's Tripucka.
With Tripucka and Long on the wing, they don't have to take it to the hoop for layups. They get 15-foot wide open jump shots.
Kareem coming right back with a stuff shot. Kareem, I think, was a little upset over that last play inside when Roundfield got a piece of it. He thought he was fouled. Roundfield blocked by Kareem. Game is heating up now. Magic coming back. A little skyhook of his own.
Well, the Pistons got back. They stopped the initial thrust, but Magic put a move on Isaiah, freed up that little hook shot.
Slowing it up for the Pistons now. Scott is on Thomas. Roundfield getting free in the corner. Roundfield is guarded by Kareem right now. Worthy comes out late to meet Tripucka. Misses the shot. Here's Worthy. Scott. The trailer is Magic. That's the Laker fast break.
Well, it was a long outside shot, created a long rebound, and that's difficult to defense against the fast break. That leads to normally easy fast break opportunities, and that's what happened.
Worthy has hit 5 of 7 shots. He already has 10 points. Off the screen, Tripucka. Roundfield grappling. Comes away with it. Lane Beer. Oh, I tell you, the Pistons had enough chances. Now the Lakers. Scott is open. And Byron Scott, who came over from the San Diego Clippers in the trade for Norm Nixon last year and delivered. He's their medium and long-range jump shooter, the prototype off guard, and it's a 22-19 game.
Scott's a very important player to their set offense, too. He shoots so well from the outside. They have to have him out there.
Thomas. Isaiah Thomas has 6. Magic Johnson has 6. We'll be looking at their assists as well because they're 1-2 in the NBA. Johnson leading with Thomas right behind. Here's Kareem with a short shot, but he took steps before he went up.
You don't see Kareem normally walk twice in a game, let alone twice in a quarter.
Coming in, substitutions all over the place. Kent Benson and Terry Tyler. There's Michael Cooper for the LA Lakers. He had started 17 of the 38 games, and with 3:05 to go in the first period, it's a 1-point game.
Have you driven a Ford? When was the last time you had the kind of car that brings the road alive? Have you driven a Ford? Then you don't know what you're missing. Have you driven a Ford? Driven a Ford? Have you driven a Ford lately?
Every day, children in East Africa are dying. Famine is threatening 6 million of them. Thousands have bodies wasted from malnutrition and starvation. They need your help. UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, is giving food, medicines, milk, and other emergency supplies.
To help, call 1-800-826-1100. That's 1-800-826-1100.
Bill, you used a dandruff shampoo on Tuesday?
And my dandruff's back on Thursday.
Well, maybe what you've got isn't ordinary dandruff.
Ask your doctor. Flaking and itching could be signs of eczema, seborrhea, or psoriasis. Try Tegrin medicated shampoo. It penetrates to the scalp to loosen and wash away flakes. Medicates the scalp to help control flaking and itching with regular use. Tegrin medicated shampoo in original or herbal.
If you thought people loved him, they did. If you thought people hated him, some did. But if you thought you knew the man, think again. Beginning next Sunday, Robert Kennedy and his Times.
Tommy, the Pistons are not renowned as a good individual defensive team.
It's a tough job for Lambier to stop Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but he's getting help from his friends, particularly Danny Roundfield from the weak side. Watch him get in there and reject an almost impossible shot to reject, a stuff. But what happens, a quick hitter up to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar before anybody can get back in to help Lambier. And that's what happens with Jabbar. He gets the easy ones.
He had 12 of the first 13 shots against Dallas en route to a 30-point game on Friday. He's had a lot of big nights. He's the leading scorer and rebounder. In fact, going to the boards a lot more than he has in the past. And looks fresher and younger, and he's going to play another year, as we said. Right now, the Pistons with a 1-point lead. Vinnie Johnson also into the ball game, misses, and Kent Benson got the rebound. Vinnie Johnson, who was a starter, now relegated to the bench. Kent Benson misses outside, and once again the Pistons had a lot of chances. A loose ball foul has been charged against Kurt Rambis, I believe, of the Lakers.
Lambier was laying his body on that offensive board, and Rambis really had to bang him to keep him off it.
Amazing, the Lakers are shooting 55% to only 37 for Detroit, yet the Pistons have maintained the lead.
Yeah, but they're creating easy shots for themselves, the Pistons, and more of them with fast breaks. Sheer numbers will do it too. You don't have to shoot a tremendous percentage.
Tyler misses. Lambier almost rolled it in on a tip, and here come the Lakers with Michael Cooper. They have Rambis in there too, so we're seeing the bench for the first time with under 3 minutes to go in the first period. Tyler is giving Worthy the shot, and Worthy will take it. Rambis fighting inside. Kurt Rambis would love to get back in the lineup. He was a starter, of course, for the last several years. He's going to have to do it off the board. Cooper the rebound. Thomas shadowing Cooper.
Nice job stopping that push up the court by Thomas on Cooper.
Under 2 minutes to go in the first period. Lambier still battling with Kareem inside. Cooper looking for Rambis. Worthy finds him, and the Piston foul. That is the first team foul against the Pistons. It's Isaiah Thomas. Make it the fourth team foul. Check its fourth team foul. 3 against the Lakers. It's still Laker ball as Vinnie Johnson bats it away.
Boy, he played some kind of defense that time. Chuck Daly pretty happy with it, where his team is positioned right now.
Scott finds Kareem. Thomas trying to double inside. Benson and Rambis going at it. And it's still going to be Lakers ball, and it may be a Detroit loose ball foul. It is on Kent Benson.
And that's the most physical I've seen Benson in a long time. He cleared him out. Here's the hook shot by Kareem. He doesn't often miss this shot, but watch Benson just push Rambis right out of the way. Try to carve out some territory for himself, but the elbow got Rambis in the chest.
Kareem is going out of the ball game right now, getting his first rest, and Bob McAdoo comes in. Lambier will also sit down.
McAdoo makes this ball club almost like the Pistons, a great outside shooting center. He doesn't go in the low post that much. Lambier will take a rest because he needs to take a rest after guarding Jabbar.
Earl Curitin is the man who replaces Lambier as Rambis misses the first free throw. Curitin has played well in the past against the Lakers, and in particular Kareem, although Kareem's on the bench. He had some good games while in the uniform of the Sixers against the Lakers in a championship series a couple of years ago.
And Curitin probably can at least stay with Bob McAdoo running up and down that court.
1:34 remaining in the first period. The Lakers are leading by 1, 22-21. Isaiah Thomas, the leading scorer, averaging nearly 23.5.
Little head fake that time made Worthy back off him.
Traveling and good defense. Terry Tyler did not go for the fake when Worthy pumped up.
Tyler usually goes sky high when somebody shows him the ball. Nice stand down.
Magic hit, Isaiah hits 2 in a row. It's 25-22 Pistons. Worthy up on top. McAdoo is the center. Rambis over Benson. Puritan the rebound. Under a minute to play. Thomas is hot. He's hit his last 2. He's got Cooper, one of the better defensive players in the league, and Puritan loses the ball. Now the Lakers can open their lead to 5, but a turnover underneath brings it out to Johnson. Vinny wide open. This could be a three-point attempt by Isaiah Thomas. Tyler loses the rebound. Battle of McAdoo. Byron Scott back, but so are the Pistons, and Scott goes right by him for the layup.
What a track meet.
22 seconds remaining in the opening period, 18 on the shot clock.
When the Pistons really go to their strength in a half-court game, the outside shooting, if they do miss, it provides an advantage to the Lakers. Those long rebounds allows them to get out much quicker on the break, the Lakers.
They have 4 on the shot clock. Puritan going in, and it goes, Earl Puritan. 27-24 in favor of the Pistons. 1 second to go. And it's short. That's the end of the first period. Here in Pontiac, Chuck Daly's Detroit Pistons lead 27-24. And Isaiah Thomas has 10 first period points.
Remember the last time we had chicken?
Can't say as I do.
Wasn't that exciting?
Can't say as I recall.
If you didn't get excited the last time you had chicken,
You got a right to chicken done right.
At Kentucky Fried Chicken, we make it with a secret blend of herbs and spices.
You got a right to chicken done right.
Now this is exciting.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
Now, Plymouth wraps Horizon in a special value package with automatic transmission at no extra cost. 550 Plymouth Horizon, power steering, 2.2-liter engine, and more. Plus automatic transmission at no extra cost. All this just $68.77. Match it. And only Horizon is backed with a 550 protection plan. The 550 Plymouth Horizon. Match it if you can. Plymouth, best built, best backed American cars.
On February 10th, a galaxy of NBA All-Stars will send you into orbit in an all-star clash that will be out of this world. The choice is with you to determine the starting lineups of the 1985 NBA All-Star Game. So get out and vote in the NBA All-Star balloting program now going on at your local NBA arena and participating retail outlets. The choice is with you. Vote.
To no one's surprise, the Boston Celtics and Philadelphia 76ers, age-old rivals, have the best records in the NBA. Boston currently leading Philadelphia by a game in the Atlantic. And, of course, every time these teams collide, it's something special. So start your Super Bowl Sunday a week from today at 1 o'clock Eastern Time here on CBS as the Doctor and Larry Bird, Tangle, and the rest of these fine players on the 76ers and Celtics go at it once again. You'll see it at CBS 1 o'clock Eastern next week, and I'm already looking forward to that.
Hey, I can't wait myself. I'll tell you, when those two teams get together, the blood flows.
Mike McGee is coming to the ball game for the Lakers, and he will be playing a guard position along with Magic Johnson. Michael Cooper can swing guard and forward, and he is playing in a forward spot. Traveling call, turns it over. Chuck Daly, he says the team is not ready for prime time powers of Philadelphia, Boston, and L.A. He says that's premature for those who said Detroit was going to be there.
Last year, he really molded a bench, called it the A-team, had a lot of morale. I think he's in the process of trying to do that with the Pistons at this point in the season.
And he's got a lot of those people from the bench in the lineup right now. Terry Tyler who's got the longest ongoing streak. In basketball, Earl Cureton on the follow-up has his second basket, and the Pistons are up by 5 points. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn. We're in the first minute of the second period. It's the Pontiac Silverdome and another fine crowd. McGee with a screen. Mike McGee. Point a minute, McGee.
Mad Dog from last year. He scrounges around out there and hustles and battles, but he's become an exceptionally fine outside shooter this season.
Lakers can't complain about their shooting if you saw their 50%, but they're trailing right now by 3. And as you said, Pistons are just getting a lot more shots off. Cureton inside to Benson. Benson.
All of a sudden, the Pistons got an inside game.
And a turnover. 3-on-1. Cureton. Thomas. And it was McAdoo who knocked the ball away. And Isaiah Thomas.
Watch out when Earl Cureton starts putting it behind his back on passes on a fast break. I know the Lakers didn't expect it.
They call a goaltend on their last play, so credit the basket to Isaiah Thomas. And it is 33-26. Biggest lead of the ball game for the Pistons.
Here they come. Now watch Cureton. He could have laid it back easily, but instead a tough behind-the-back pass. But Isaiah right there and McAdoo hustling. Bats it away goaltending.
7-point lead for the Detroit Pistons, who are running the break and getting the ball inside as well. And there's the man that is doing it, the inspirational leader of this team, Isaiah Thomas. Last year, in a very emotional 5th game, the Pistons lost to the Knicks, and Isaiah Thomas scored the last 16 points before his team lost in overtime. He was so distraught, he got into his car and drove home to Chicago 6 hours without even changing right after the game.
He may smile a lot, but he's a very intense player and a winner all the way.
And a proud player. He wants to show his friend Magic what he can do. Pistons have outscored the Lakers 14-4 in this run. Here's McGee. Mike McGee. For 3 years, he wasn't a factor and all of a sudden blossomed last year.
Pat Riley wasn't kidding yesterday when he said McGee is shooting a lot better
Here's
from
a great
outside.
defensive play by Mike. That's where the hound dog comes in.
You call him hound dog. I call him mad dog. He goes around there snarling at people.
He ain't nothing but a mad dog. Is that how it goes? McAdoo. Rebound by Earl Cureton. Boy, Cureton really plays against this ball club. Thomas on the break. Earl Cureton set up Thomas twice now.
I'll tell you, they have their heads up on every rebound for somebody potentially taking off.
Here's Kurt Rambis. Tell you, Cureton played him very tough, but Rambis just drove past and fired it in. It's 35-30 with 9:40 remaining in the first half. The Pistons are in front.
Both these teams were in the fast break so effectively, but they also have another thing, quick hitter type offense.
There's one.
Before the total defense is set up.
And the basket's good. Vinnie Johnson. Here's a guy who started early in the year when John Long was a holdout. Long missed 16 games, and Johnson was really a big factor. But since he's gone to the bench, he has slowed up a lot. Not today. And
Sir, I'd like your impressions of our January Best Buys.
My impressions?
Sure.
Well, great. Let's take a look at your hardware.
You mean like this React smoke alarm? Helps protect home and family for just $6.88.
Now that's a Best Buy.
So's this Mighty Bright 2 rechargeable light.
Why, can it turn itself on if the power goes out?
Yes, and the $3 rebate makes your actual cost only $6.88.
That's telling it like it is. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware man.
We're impressed.
Of course.
You go bumper to bumper at 200 miles an hour on a hot track from morning till night. You'll find out just how strong your deodorant is. I'm Cale Yarborough. I drive race cars. This is my deodorant, Old Spice Stick. Hey, Old Spice isn't just strong, it's 24 hours strong. Old Spice Stick is the only leading deodorant that says it right on the label. You want a deodorant that lasts longer than you do, this is the one.
Now Old Spice Stick also comes in a new fresh scent.
There's no better way to end a perfect day than to head for the best beer you can find.
Welcome to Miller Time.
At Miller High Life, we begin with nature's finest ingredients. Then we brew our beer so it contains no additives, no preservatives. So nothing comes between you and the taste of just pure beer.
Welcome to Miller
The fourth-ranked SMU Mustangs will unleash their run-and-gun attack on Dean Smith's North Carolina Tar Heels in college basketball on CBS Sports. Next.
Veteran Jamal Wilkes has been a part of several Laker championship teams. A year ago, he was averaging over 22, shooting great. Then he came down with the flu, intestinal infection, was no use to the Lakers in the playoffs, and now he has become a forgotten man in the Lakers scheme of things. Pat Riley says it still could be a lingering illness to the situation. He's not what he used to be. He's not shooting right. Although other people, and Jamal Wilkes said when I asked him, I don't want to make a big deal about this, and I don't want to cause any waves, but I'd love to play, and I can be effective, and that's where that stands right now.
I think he's bearing the brunt of the subtle changes that Riley's trying to incorporate in this ball club. Playing bigger people with Jamal Wilkes out there, it's always been thought of the Lakers as a finesse team. Now he's trying to make it a muscle team, Pat Riley.
And so Wilkes has become a shadow of himself, and everyone's asking what has happened to the great Silk. And he has been that kind of a player, and really one of the classy players, too, in the league.
Great guy, but a tough thing when you come close to the tail end of your career.
McGee stepped on the line. It'll be Piston ball. Would you say he's at the tail end of the career?
He might be. He very well might be, but I'm sure he could help some ball club. But with this team right now, they need the muscle.
Trapuka guarded by Cooper. Here's Kelly going to the hoop. Rambis fighting. Comes down to Magic Johnson. Out of the pack comes Magic. Just under 9 minutes to go in the first half. Magic beating McAdoo, and he's fouled. Kareem is going to come back into the ball game. Abdul-Jabbar has 4 points in the ball game and 4 rebounds. McAdoo will go out. The personal foul is on Vinnie Johnson. First personal, first team foul. Worthy's also back in the ball game, so the Lakers now have Kareem at center. They have Worthy and Rambis up front, and Magic Johnson and Mike McGee in the backcourt.
Well, Worthy's really the guy that kind of took Jamal Wilkes out of the line.
Well, yes and no, and that's something that a lot of people will talk about. 2-on-1 break. Vinnie Johnson baseline. Fight for the ball, comes down. Vinnie Johnson has it. And they say over and back. So
he had it in control in his own front court. And there's Daly agreeing.
See, Worthy really took Rambis' spot as the power man, and Spriggs took Wilkes' spot.
That's the way they look at it, but that's not the way I look at it, Dick. The real finesse player now with some speed and size is Worthy.
Okay, Rambis. Blocked inside by Roundfield. Another good defensive play inside by Dan Roundfield. Long going all the way with it. And John Long, who the Pistons rely on his shooting and has had good games in the past against the Lakers. The basket is good, and a technical foul has been called against the Pistons because it's their second delay of the game warning. Chuck Daly. Magic Johnson will shoot the technical.
Well, a delay of the game is touching the ball and not allowing that fast break to get started. A little trick that they do. But here's the block shot coming up as Rambis makes a good, strong move inside, but in your face, sir. And off the Pistons go. You know what I like about the Pistons? All the guards will take it to the basket if you let them. They don't pull up the foul, and they put the pressure on you right to the basket.
Kareem. Out to the Lakers again. McGee. Out of Magic Johnson. 7:55 on the clock. And tipped away by Earl Curitin, but the Lakers still have it. No basket, Kareem, and a 3-second violation called against Pat Riley's Lakers. Riley's upset. That's the second 3-second call of the game against L.A. Pat Riley, who was once an 11th round draft choice by the Dallas Cowboys. And a technical foul has been called against Pat, who doesn't often get upset, visibly anyway.
He's a tough guy, but he's normally pretty much in control, but he's really hot here. And his hair may get mussed up before this game is over.
No, that won't happen. No way. Third leading free throw shooter in the league, Kelly Trapuka, who's at a 90% clip. And Pat Riley is still pleading his case to Jake O'Donnell, who turns his back on Pat.
When their palms are up, you know you're in serious trouble. When the coaches start with the palms up,
Does that mean give me a break?
Give me a break, and then you know you're losing your case.
41-31 in favor of the Pistons. Vinnie Johnson keeping the ball a long time. Round field against Rambis. Rambis playing the good defense. Round field, misses the shot. Rambis saves it. What a play by Rambis. Just barely saved it. Here's a ball handler if I ever saw one. They just missed an over and back call against Trapuka. Kareem banks it in, and now they're playing schoolyard ball, Tommy.
When you see Kareem taking jumpers on the fast break, something's breaking down.
James Worthy with 12 points, leading scorer for the Lakers. Isaiah Thomas has 14 to top Detroit. And it's a 41-33 game, 8-point lead for the Pistons. Their biggest lead was 10. All here in the second period. Here's John Long. Kareem to Worthy. 6:40 remaining in the half. Magic. And it counts. The foul as well. And Magic Johnson with 9 points will go to the line and try to cut the lead to 5.
Yes, he's smart. Boy, they just laid the ball back to him. He saw it's wide open, took it strong to the hoop. Beautiful.
The design is bold. The performance, heart-pounding. This is a new kind of Libero, GTS. In the slalom, GTS Premium outperforms BMW 528e, is faster from 0 to 50, and stops quicker than Mercedes 190e. Performance seats, available leather-fitted cabin, advanced electronics, and the Chrysler Protection Plan. Libero GTS, created to outperform Europe's best. It does, I assure you.
It's the top cheese on a soup or entree. It's the top cheese for a sauce or snack tray. It's the tops on all-time favorites like apple pie. So celebrate, sure it tastes great, real cheese is why. So go ahead, add real cheese, you'll never stop. 'Cause cheese, it's the tops.
Make your meals sing with real cheese.
You know, the business world moves fast. I've found only one publication keeps pace with it every business day. Only this, the Wall Street Journal. Not weekly, not bi-weekly, today's business news today. So you can use it today.
Get the next 6 months of the Wall Street Journal delivered for just $56, only 44 cents a day. To order, phone 800-228-2210. That's 6 months, over 125 issues for just $56. Phone 800-228-2210 today.
Top men and women athletes try to meet the challenge of the Triathlon World Championships, plus the All-Madden team, today on CBS Sports Sunday.
Rambis hustles on this rebound as the Pistons are leading. Well, watch the karate chop he takes to the forehead. Yeehaw! And then he tries to become a track man. Look at that sprint to the sideline, saves the ball into the stands at 2 feet inbounds. That's a hustle play, though. Ball kidding around. He certainly wasn't a 100-yard dash man going for that loose ball.
Give me that yaha.
Yaha! Karate chop in the forehead.
Earl Curran commits the foul, and there is Kurt Rambis, who's out of the ball game right now.
Magic Johnson is alive for the Lakers.
Johnson
for
shooting.
1 shot.
He does look like Clark Kent.
Well.
Sitting on that bench, Rambis. All we needed was a cape to go for that loose ball that time.
6.5 minutes to go in the first half, 41-36, and now the Lakers have scored 5 straight points. They were down by 10. John Long over Byron Scott ends the streak. That's a big basket when another team is on the run like the Lakers.
Yeah, and they also changed up their defense that time, and the Pistons picked it up right away.
Kareem. Driving Worthy. Look at that.
When he gets doubled, you better rotate to the open man cutting down that lane because he's an exceptional passer. That's what makes a lot of teams reluctant to double team him.
Halfway through this second period, the Pistons with a lead. Last year they had the lead most of the way and ended up losing to the Lakers here. The Lakers have never lost here in the Silverdome when Magic Johnson's been here. Brownfield the rebound on Magic's post-to-post miss. Vinnie Johnson feeding Long. Good pass inside to Curran, and Curran missed an easy shot.
He was in between a stuff and a layup.
Byron Scott comes right back. Good play by John Long. He created that steal. And on the 3-on-1, Long lays it in. Good play on both ends by John Long. He played his college ball at the University of Detroit. In fact, he broke Dave DeBuscher's all-time Detroit scoring record.
I think Long is an important factor on this ball club that a lot of people in Detroit weren't really aware of.
Kareem triple teamed. Good defense again. Michael Cooper. Tell you, the Pistons' inside defense has been magnificent today as they try to push it up. Vinnie Johnson is fouled.
I love the shot. Here we're going to see a great steal. John Long harassing Scott. Knocked away. And off the Pistons go on the fast break. Curtin, the middleman. Come on, Earl. But a nice laydown pass to Long. And Jabbar really couldn't get over there in time to make the block shot.
Foul is on Byron Scott. Each team with 2 team fouls. That was the first on Byron, and Vinnie Johnson is on the line. Dan Roundfield. Bill Laimbeer, by the way, is back in the ball game. Curtin in his 8 minutes, while Laimbeer got some rest, scored 4 points, had 4 rebounds and 4 assists. Pretty good work.
He did an excellent job on the boards, but he really picked up the pace of the game defensively for the Pistons.
Curtin had 11 rebounds Friday night against Indiana, so he may be in one of those hot streaks right now. 4:50 remaining in the first half. 47-38. 9-point lead for the Pistons. Worthy turnaround. That's one of those shots they're going to say you can't stop as the years go on, right?
When he faces up, you're dead, baby. When he turns around and faces to the basket, the shot is over you before you know what happens.
Long goes right by Cooper. He went by one of the best defensive players in the league, and it's a foul inside against the Lakers as Isaiah Thomas checks back into the ball game. Thomas is still the leading scorer with 14 points for Detroit, and as you see, he has 6 assists.
You know, Dick, these Pistons could easily be up by double figures. They've missed some very easy layups.
They have. I count about 6. Thomas going in against Worthy, and a loose ball foul against the Pistons.
Detroit foul number 40,
Bill Laimbeer, it's his first. We don't have anyone in any kind of foul trouble at this point with 4:20 to go in the second period. In fact, I think Larry Spriggs with 2 fouls is the only one with more than 1. Worthy. Lakers going to the inside now, and Cooper crashing the boards will be called for the loose ball foul.
You know how, you see how easily Worthy takes it to the basket. Boy, I mean, you just don't have the quickness. I don't think anybody in the league to match up against him when he's in that low post. You got to double him quickly to make him stop those moves.
4 minutes to go. Do you think he'll become more of a power player as the years go on?
Well, he'll mature more physically as he gets older, but he's showing me a lot more muscle than he showed last year already here in this first half.
Talk about muscle. Laimbeer coming in with the basket. Laimbeer has 6 points in the ball game. Thomas is the only Piston in doubles. Scott Magic tried to feed him, and Byron Scott couldn't convert, and now Tripucka has it. 9-point lead. Pistons can open up their biggest lead of the ball game, and Dan Roundfield gives it to him. Roundfield on a turnaround, and it's an 11-point game with 3:26 to go in the second period. Timeout Lakers.
They push it up the floor quickly to get in the low post.
Welcome to Miller time.
Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch Milk Chocolate. That's creamy, blending crispies. Ooh, so dreamy. Gotta have it. It's so scrumptious. Love that chocolate when it crunches. Crunches. Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch.
There's something you can use almost anywhere you travel.
Only 3 days left, counselor.
Then it's back to the courtroom in 3-piece lawsuits.
It's used more than any other.
Hey, I paid last time.
For travel, shopping, entertaining, and cash.
Objection. I picked up dinner in Santa Barbara.
Overruled. Who bought supplies at Bodega Bay?
Immaterial.
There's very little you can't do with Visa.
Let's be reasonable, Counselor. You buy.
It's all you need.
Right now, to find what we have in store coming up at halftime, here's Pat O'Brien in our studios. Pat?
Thank you, Dick. Coming up at the half, we'll look in on the hot race at the Atlantic Division between Philadelphia and Boston, and we'll show you one of the reasons the 76ers are so strong these days, the arrival of the round mound of rebound, Charles Barkley. And they honored Red Auerbach in Boston last week. Dick, you'll have that story coming up at the half.
Thank you very much, Pat. And, of course, that Charles Barkley, that story, stay with us at halftime because that really is a terrific look at one of the bright new stars in the NBA, and certainly a guy who's made his presence felt, to say the least, with Philadelphia. You're going to see him next Sunday, of course, with our Philadelphia-Boston matchup on CBS. There's Chuck Daly going over some things. And, of course, that last weekend, that big Red Auerbach Gala affair in Boston. Cooper looking inside to Kareem. He doesn't have the skyhook as effectively. He's only 2 for 8 shooting in this ball game. He hasn't scored since the middle of the first period.
Lambier played him nicely that time. Got right on his shooting hand as he wheeled into the middle, caused him to break his rhythm, Jabbar.
Kareem with 4 points. Tripucka hits. Kelly Tripucka is a big offensive asset to this club. He is nearly 20 points a game, although in this one he has 5. But he can explode and get on a streak. Inside Kareem. Well, we might have got him going now with the skyhook as Rambis and Jamal Wilkes watch from the bench. And
Lakers trying to get back in this ball game by picking away inside offense.
Isaiah Thomas hitting outside. I'll tell you, when this perimeter shooting team hits, there's nothing you can do about that.
You just stand out there in amazement when you're trying to defend against them. But sometimes it goes against you, particularly in the second half. When you start to get a little bit tired, you start to front rim things. So
2:15 remaining in the first half. Spriggs, little contact out there. 3-point attempt by Cooper, who's the Lakers' best at department, misses, and it'll be Pistons ball. Mike comes back in for the Lakers. Michael Cooper goes to the bench. Cooper has not scored. Isaiah Thomas with 16 points and 7 assists.
2 minutes left in the second quarter.
2 minutes to go. Lambier with effective shooting outside early. Spriggs the rebound. Magic Johnson.
You've got to get to Magic by half court or he'll kill you. He'll penetrate right to the hoop.
Magic has 12 points and 4 assists in this game. Started the day, Magic was number 1. Isaiah number 2 in assists in the league. On a switch off, Spriggs knocks the ball out of bounds.
Pistons like to run that little pick and roll 2-man game, particularly with Lambier and Isaiah.
McGee pounding Thomas. And here's Tripucka from the corner.
Does he use picks? I guess he does, Kelly Tripucka. He can get open.
Magic Johnson coming back. So it's an 11-point game again. Detroit with 1:12 to go. Of course, as we've said many times, you live by the outside shot. Sometimes you die by it too. 10 on the shot clock. Thomas looking for Roundfield. Posts up Spriggs and burns him. They wanted to take advantage of the inexperienced Larry Spriggs and the veteran Roundfield, and Thomas combined well.
Well, that's the guy that they got really for that inside game because they know Lambier is not a low-post player. And Roundfield showing he can do it down there.
Magic has hit his last 5 shots. Can't get the return pass from Kareem. That's because Lambier had his hands up. 5 on the shot clock, and Kareem had to force the shot, but there was Worthy. Blocked by Roundfield. 3-on-1. Thomas. And the Pistons have their biggest lead of the ball game with 25 seconds to go in the first half. Roundfield has blocked 4 shots in this first period, and now a Detroit foul. That's their 4th. They had 1 to give, so the Lakers will inbound the ball with 15 seconds remaining in the first half.
First in the last 2 minutes.
We're going to see some fantastic defense. Here's a pass coming up. And Jabbar trying to find somebody in there is forced to take a shot, but I guess we went away from it.
No basket. Offensive foul against Kareem. So now the Pistons, Kareem's second foul. The Pistons have 9 seconds. They have a 15-point lead, 4 seconds, and a pushing foul on McGee. And Pat Riley really has to be going crazy right now. That's the last thing you want. That's the 15th foul against the Lakers, and will send Isaiah Thomas to the line to shoot 2.
Dog that time was really howling. He got right all over Isaiah. And just trying to contain him. What he's signaling, Pat Riley, is get down that court and get on a rebound. Don't let him miss it. If he misses one, we don't want him to get a tip in.
No body English will help Isaiah Thomas.
Smile it in, Isaiah. Smile it in.
Well, his free throw shooting has gotten better. So is his rebounding. You know, he's the current player of the week in the NBA. He averaged 9 rebounds last week. 6-1. Hits 1 out of 2. 3 seconds to go. And Roundfield gets a hand on it, and he may get a shot off. He does. No basket. Boy, that really would have sent Detroit home happy, but they've got to be pleased with their first half effort. 62-46 in favor of the Pistons. Pat O'Brien is coming up.
There's only one, the Statue of Liberty. And you can help too. Every time you fly American, we'll make a donation on your behalf. It's all part of a $5 million commitment to make her 100th birthday something special. American Airlines, helping to keep the American spirit alive.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Wait till you feel how it drives.
Olds Cutlass Sierra is so much fun to drive.
It's fun in the city.
You may want to stop.
The highway? Oh, it's fun there, too.
It's lots of fun on hills.
Sure. Say, shouldn't we head?
It's even fun on farm roads.
Great fun on farm roads.
There is a special feeling.
Oh, we're back.
In an Oldsmobile.
Of course, it's your turn to drive.
Welcome.
They said he couldn't retrieve his own shadow, but you didn't give up on him. Now comes your time.
To Miller time.
And Miller time means it's time for the best beer you can find. Miller High Life.
Bring your thirsty self right here, the rich, smooth taste of Miller beer. If you have in mind.
Welcome to Miller High Life.
Welcome to Miller time.
Our halftime score, Detroit 62, LA 46. Hi again, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien, and once again, welcome to At the Half today from our studio in New York City. Our theme today is a big one, literally. We might call it the heavyweight at the half, as we profile Big Charles Barkley of the 76ers, and later we'll see how to honor a legendary heavyweight, as they did Red Auerbach last weekend. Speaking of Boston, they lead the Atlantic Division now by 1 game over Philadelphia. Last night, the Celtics won their 6th game in a row, defeating Atlanta 119-111. And K.C. Jones was animated early in the game as Boston opened up a 21-point first-half lead. Off the block shot there, the Celtics run their patented fast break to perfection. Larry Bird had 19 on the day. Atlanta's Dominique Wilkins tried rallying the Hawks. He had 39, but the largest crowd in Atlanta history, over 16,000, wound up disappointed as the Celtics held. Meantime, the second-place Sixers have won 10 straight. And while rookies like Michael Jordan and the Bulls and Hakeem Olajuwon turned into real attractions everywhere they play, there is a third rookie brightening up the paint this season. His name is Charles Barkley, and he may be the biggest thing to hit Philadelphia in some time.
Number 34, top rookie from Auburn, Charles Barkley.
Now it's solid.
Charles, that's a runaway truck right there.
Solid as a rock.
Barkley doing it all.
Indeed, Charles Barkley has become a solid rock force with the Philadelphia 76ers. He's come a long way from Leeds, Alabama, where he learned the game on this basketball court. In college, he starred for 3 years at Auburn, and now his flamboyance is catching on in the pros. Moving from a small town in Alabama to a big city like Philadelphia would be an adjustment for almost any 21-year-old, but that's not really the adjustment Charles Barkley is concerned with. He just doesn't like being a rookie.
The referees don't give you any breaks. And you have to carry the guy's bag sometimes.
I'm just glad, you know, that I'm playing with the Sixers. That makes it easier because we're winning, you know. I'm glad I'm not playing for a team that's in last place if I was a rookie. And I can handle anything as long as we're winning.
Including food. His appetite has always been an issue. He once weighed 315 pounds. They called him Boy Gorge, round mound of rebound.
Not bad.
The Sixers even had a night letting everybody heavier than 260 in free. But now a trimmed-down Barkley is laughing at others.
Those big guys, you know, we're pretty ugly, but Moses, I consider myself ugly, but I consider Moses uglier.
Despite the jokes, Malone has helped the rookie, and the Sixers are 19-2 since Barkley moved into the starting lineup. His coast-to-coast drive is a patented move with a behind-the-back dribble and always a big finish.
I try to do something to get myself going. And if I think I got a chance to take it behind my back, I will. But especially at home, you know, if the crowd comes out to see you, you want to give them the money's worth. And, you know, anybody can do just a regular layup, but I try to do something to make them think about it later.
At his home in Philadelphia, Barkley is close to being a hermit. But on the court, his defensive presence is just what the doctor ordered.
He's the right guy for us. Realized that the first day of training camp, I was trying to box him out from the foul line. Ended up in about the 8th row over at the practice gym. From that day on, I have stayed out of the man's way.
As long as I'm having fun, I think I'm pretty much satisfied. Like I say, my #1 goal in life was to take care of my family, and I've accomplished that. And I think everything else is just icing on the cake. And that's what I'm striving for, some more icing.
Solid, 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 solid.
Incidentally, if you decide to call him Boy Gorge, do it on the run. He still weighs about 250 pounds. We'll go from one heavyweight to another shortly as we see how they honored Arnold Red Auerbach in Boston this week, as At the Half continues after a word from your local station.
Next Saturday, 2 conference showdowns will be featured in regional coverage of college basketball. See number 10 Kansas take on 8th-ranked Oklahoma, or number 3 St. John's against Boston College. Then coverage of the PGA Tour tees off with the 50th Phoenix Open. And on CBS Sports Saturday, Hector Camacho returns to the ring against Louis Burke. And Olympic downhill champion Bill Johnson takes on the Lauberhorn. Next Sunday, the Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics renew their fierce rivalry on CBS Sports. This is CBS.
Last Saturday night at the house down the street, the kids came looking for a rock and roll beat. Upstairs, they were grooving to the best sound around, playing foot-stomping music to rock the house down.
You really got me going.
Rocking down the house. 50 original hits to get you off of your seat. The original stars, the original beat, the limbo, the twist, the Watusi 2. This is great music for whatever you do.
Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music. Any old way you choose it. I got a whole lot of love for you. 'Cause you said day one. There's something that I have to tell you. Something tells me.
Rocking down the house on a 5-record set, or you can get yours on long play cassette. 50 great hits for dancing and singing. 50 great hits to get your party swinging. But you better be careful how much that you play, because some of your guests might get carried away.
To order, use your MasterCharge or Visa. Call free 800-554-3000. That's 800-554-3000. Or save CUD in handling by sending 1995 for 5 records, 3 8-tracks, or 3 cassettes to Rockin' Down the House. Box 7000-20, Palm Springs, California. That's Rockin' Down the House. Box 7000-20, Palm Springs, California. Please specify cassettes, records, or 8-track tapes.
New York's Forgotten Police Widows, Monday.
Coming up later today on CBS, it's NCAA basketball with North Carolina and SMU. And for a report, let's send you out to Brent Musburger and Billy Packer. Brent?
All right, Pat, we've got a confrontation here this afternoon. The 4th-ranked Mustangs of SMU and the 5th-ranked Tar Heels of North Carolina. Everyone realizes that North Carolina is a prestigious here this afternoon. The 4th-ranked Mustangs of SMU and the 5th-ranked Tar Heels of North Carolina. Everyone realizes that North Carolina is a prestigious basketball school, but SMU now is trying to prove that they belong with the elite. And we've got some superb guards here, Billy.
Well, we really do. 2 of the finest backcourts in the United States. Carl Wright
shown right here. He's got an incredible amount of talent. Not only ball handling wise, he's got great speed and moves to the basket, as you can see right here. Matched up with Moore, he really makes SMU tough in the backcourt. And Kenny Smith and Hale for North Carolina, a great backcourt also. Kenny Smith last year, as you remember, had the Tar Heels in a position 17-0 until he broke that wrist against LSU. And I really believe with him in the lineup, they may have gone all the way up against Georgetown for the national championship.
And, of course, John Koncak is here for SMU.
Well, John Koncak, everybody talking about Patrick Ewing as the #1 center, and he is. But John Koncak played on the Olympic team. He has really outperformed some outstanding collegians in that center position. He'll be tough.
Pat, we look forward to that. Let's go back to New York.
All right, Brent, we look forward to that. Following that action, we have more action here on CBS as Sports Sunday rounds out your day. The French Riviera provides the backdrop for the World Triathlon Championship. The triathlon begins with a brisk early morning swim through 2 miles of cold and choppy waters, a swim that by itself is a stern test of endurance. But for those who press on, the race continues on wheels, a 75-mile battle against the treacherous mountain roads of the Maritime Alps and against the willpower of the other survivors. Then, and without pause for rest, the competition climaxes with a 20-mile run in the noonday heat. Also today, John Madden will tell us, and in no uncertain terms, whom he likes for his all-Madden team. They're the NFL's Dirty Dozen, guys who will wrestle and hustle, hitters who will bump and run all day long. They may not look pretty, and some may not make All-Pro, but so what? They're all Madden, coming up on CBS Sports Sunday. We said earlier that our theme today was heavyweights, and you know, when you think basketball heavyweights, the name Arnold Auerbach comes to mind. He's been molding the game now for 35 years, and last week they honored him in Beantown, and Dick Stockton was there.
Light it up one time for Boston, and for Boston's greatest team.
Last week, Boston lit up for Red Auerbach weekend as all the Celtic greats came home to salute the man who built the most successful sports franchise ever, and to see Reds #2 retire to the rafters of Boston Garden.
I got a real good thrill out of it. I really did. I saw those people out there, and I said, a lot of them don't even remember me as a coach. I might see these guys out there, 18, 19 years of age, 20 years of age. I know they never saw me coach.
The next day, people did get to see Red Auerbach coach against his student, Bill Russell, as the legends of Celtic history took the floor once more in a charity game. That old Celtic style was unmistakable. At the buzzer, Red lit up his traditional victory cigar.
Light it up one more time for
And Red, after At the Half, I light one up every now and then, too. Dick and Tommy will be back with the second half in a moment. I'm Pat O'Brien. Thanks for joining us at the half. Enjoy the second half on CBS.
I'm not going to go buy the squeeze spray anymore.
Andrea Giles tells when she first tried 12-hour Nostrella, the metered one-way nasal spray.
After I had seen the presentation.
The TV
On
presentation?
Yes,
You saw that squeeze sprays can draw back common cold viruses.
Mhm.
The one-way metered pump?
It didn't.
That's a good reason for trying it. But did 12-hour Nostrella work for you?
The 12-hour Nostrella cleared my sinuses, and I could breathe again.
12-hour Nostrella. Nostro, regular and mild. The metered one-way nasal sprays.
It works for me.
Ollie, if you don't hurry, I'll miss my plane.
Well, I'm doing the best I can in this terrible rain.
Would a new set of Vanco wiper blades help?
Certainly. Put them on.
Change to Anco. They clean better than any other blade. Tests prove it.
There, now I can see an airplane. Airplane!
Don't worry, Ollie. It wasn't mine. That's mine.
Anco. The best blades you can buy. Tests prove it.
Sodium can turn up where you least expect it, even in your antacid tablet. Looking for an antacid without sodium? Tums is sodium-free, and it also neutralizes 1/3 more stomach acid than the other leading brand. Tums lets you do without the heartburn and without all that sodium. And for liquid strength in a tablet, Tums EX.
Winning in basketball takes control. Winning in life also takes control. I'm Isaiah Thomas, and this is my mom. Together we have everything under control.
That's right.
Isaiah have his basketball under control, and I have my high blood pressure under control.
Call the American Heart Association to see how you can help control high blood pressure.
Even when Isaiah was a baby, he was quite a dribbler.
I was?
Yes, you dribble your milk.
The American Heart Association, we're fighting for your life.
An unusual 16-point lead for the Detroit Pistons over the Western Kingpins, the LA Lakers, at halftime. And, of course, we've talked about the two aces, Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson. Of course, Magic with a homecoming coming back to Michigan, where he starred for Michigan State. And here's what they've done at halftime, and they both have played very well indeed. Isaiah and Irvin, both in double figures. Both were dishing out the assists, and Isaiah with 9 assists. But, Tommy, we talk about what's going to get the Detroit Pistons into the upper echelon of the NBA, and maybe the deal they made with Atlanta, bringing Dan Roundfield over, could get them there.
Well, it's certainly illustrating today that Dan Roundfield is the guy that can get the job done on the inside, both offensively and defensively. He blocked a few shots here that helped start fast break opportunities, like coming up right here, a quick one. Here's one inside, a quick hitter before the rest of the defense can set up. The ball is into Roundfield. And there he is, over Worthy for the jump shot, something that the Pistons have been missing. And also this type of play, a little strong shot block and defense that helps trigger the quickness of the Pistons into fast break situations, and looking long, take it all away on the penetration. So Roundfield already paying dividends and giving an indication of what he can mean to this ball club.
Imagine he's at double figures in rebounds, which is what they need, 10 rebounds and 11 points along with 4 block shots. And what's also surprising on the Lakers side, when you talked about the inside defense, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar only 6 points in the first half.
Well, they've double-teamed him, triple-teamed him. They've fronted him. They've shown him different looks. And Lambier, while he's been in there, has played him fairly well on his right side, so he can't get that, the left side, so he can't get that hook shot off.
The Lakers lead the NBA with a 54% shooting percentage, and that's better than their record-breaking effort of a year ago, but the Pistons have held them to just 47% in the first half. As you take a look at the leading scores, Worthy is the top man for the Lakers. We're underway, and it's LA ball, trailing 62-46. They go into Kareem, who has only 6 points. Double team, nearly saved by Thomas. Laker ball.
Well, that was a perfect example of the double team, and Jabbar tried to wheel through it, but Isaiah's got those quick hands.
Thomas steals the ball, knocks it away, gets the return pass, a lead one to Roundfield, and it's an 18-point game.
But Worthy looking the wrong way. Beautiful pass by Isaiah Thomas.
He's figured at over 60% of the Piston points in this game and nearly picks off another one.
Last year, Isaiah wasn't too happy losing to these Lakers on national television, but watch him get out there in front with the good hands, pick it off, and watch the pass as Roundfield takes off. So he's got some quick feet himself, Roundfield.
10 on the shot clock. Byron Scott, Magic Johnson in the backcourt. Larry Spriggs, as you look at Detroit's domination in the fast break point department, and Worthy, who shoots outside and misses. Kareem in the middle, and Detroit starting out in strong fashion here in the second half. Thomas against Byron Scott. Tripucka. And Kareem grabs a rebound. That's his 9th of the game. He leads the Lakers.
Lakers having difficulty getting their break going, I'll tell you.
Johnson misses. Here's Worthy. Keeps it going. Knocked away by Thomas. He ranks among the leaders in steals in the NBA as well. He has 3 in this game. Byron Scott over Tripucka for 3. Misses. Roundfield. Quick outlet pass to Long. 2-on-1 break. Tripucka and Worthy prevented that easy basket.
Boy, are these Pistons ever alert to get that ball as far up the court as possible, and nobody getting over the rebound by the Lakers, so that it's an easy pass for the Pistons to stop that break. Conversely, the Pistons are getting all over the rebounder of the Lakers and also checking Magic as he's coming up.
John Long, no good, and they're going to call a foul against the Lakers inside. Irvin Magic Johnson, who's from Lansing, Michigan, and his parents are in attendance to see their son make his annual visit. Meanwhile, Larry Spriggs now has his 3rd personal foul. Lambier. He was hot early from outside. He's cooled off a bit, but he's going to continue to shoot from out there.
Well, it's got to draw Jabbar out there. That helps the Roundfield score inside easier and rebound easier.
Byron Scott looking for Kareem. And Larry Spriggs over Tripucka. And a foul. It'll be against the Pistons. And it's going to be against Bill Laimbeer. It'll be his second personal.
Here we're going to see that foul as Laimbeer is putting a body on Kareem. Kareem throws a little elbow in the chops, but the foul will be charged to Laimbeer. Ooh, that hurt.
And he's done more than hold his own so far.
I think I found some candles.
I got some matches.
Here's to good friends.
Power company.
How about a little blackout party?
You're crazy.
Not entirely.
The beer we'll pour must say something more somehow.
We didn't even finish the low and brow. That's better.
Let it be low and brown.
It doesn't take much looking for you to know the Mazda GLC sedan is a lot more than mere transportation. At $66.95, you also know it's an outstanding value. And when you look inside, you see seats you just wouldn't expect in an economy car. You see one of the largest interiors in its class, and you experience a precise shifting 5-speed. But one thing you may not know is just how much fun it is to drive. Mazda GLC sedan. Experience it.
Well, there they go again.
I hear Wendy's sold millions of hot stuffed baked potatoes last year.
Yeah, and we didn't sell any.
We didn't have any.
Yeah.
Only Wendy's has hot stuffed baked potatoes with chili and cheese and so many other delicious toppings.
I sure wish we'd thought of baked potatoes.
Boy, I feel like a clown.
How do you think I feel?
Hot stuffed baked potatoes for Wendy's kind of people.
The PGA Tour on CBS Sports begins its new season with the 50th Phoenix Open. The final 2 rounds next weekend live on CBS Sports.
Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn back here at the Silverdome in Pontiac. At the conclusion of the game, Tom and I will select the Light Beer Most Valuable Player of the game, and in conjunction with the award, Light Beer from Miller will present a check for $1,000 to the National Multiple Sclerosis Foundation in that player's name. Worthy will inbound. McAdoo has come in. So McAdoo and Kareem are both in the lineup as you look at today's attendance. Another crowd upwards of 20,000, 23 plus. Kareem hits the skyhook. So what does it mean with the two bigger men in there, McAdoo and Kareem at the same time?
Well, they're going to have a height advantage, the Lakers, over Kelly Tripucka, and perhaps the Lakers will try and use that.
McAdoo is guarding Tripucka. Roundfield is picked up by Worthy. Thomas hemmed in by Scott. 6 on the shot clock. Behind the bounce pass by Isaiah Thomas. That was the only way he could get the ball at Danny Roundfield. The only way.
Heads up reception, too, by Danny Roundfield.
The other end. Magic Johnson is fouled going to the hoop.
We're going to see this now as Isaiah is being overplayed to the middle. Beautiful pass along the baseline, and Roundfield comes up and in. And they're exploiting Roundfield right now. They're going to really develop him as an inside player, get the ball to him more and more and more, particularly, I think, after this game.
He commits the personal foul, sending Magic to the line, hits the first free throw, and he makes them both. So Magic Johnson now has 16 points. He and Worthy lead the Lakers. In fact, they're the only Lakers in double figures. Isaiah Thomas has 19. He's the game high scorer, and Dan Roundfield has added 15. Brings you up to date on the scoring. Thomas over Kareem. Long. Try to save it. 66 to 50, a 16-point game, and Magic Johnson loses it. This is going to be an easy 2 for John Long. And 23,700. Couldn't ask for a better Sunday afternoon. Watching their Pistons take it to the Lakers at this point, 68 to 50 with 8:35 remaining in the third period. Bob McAdoo will go to the line.
Well, nobody goes out and checks Magic, but Isaiah right there at the foul line. Little mishandle by Magic, and Isaiah with the quick hands takes it away, and very nicely says, John Long, you take these two.
McGee comes in for Byron Scott. You know, yesterday we were talking to Isaiah Thomas when he was working on the weights in the trainer's room. I said, you're going to get together with Magic today? He said, well, I think the coaches would rather we didn't get together so much the day before the game. But sooner or later, we'll get together.
Well, they are, as you mentioned, good friends. And coaches don't like to see guys having dinner or breakfast before ball games. They want them to get a little hungry and mad at each other.
Does anyone doubt that these guys really don't want to really show the other guy up when they're playing? I mean, there's pride involved.
Yeah, but you got to keep that anxiety level up there, too.
Brownfield inside. Kareem gets the rebound. 16-point lead for the Pistons, winding down to 8 minutes to go in the third period. A lot of time for the Lakers to come back, and we saw them come back last year in this very game. Worthy, baseline. 18 for Worthy, just about at his season's average.
They can peck away at you.
Wide open Lane Beer. Kareem with another rebound. So Kareem has grabbed 2 in a row. He's got 11.
He has not, Lambier, hit that outside shot as effectively as he can. I think he's shooting it too much on the line.
Slowing it up is John Long. Trapuka. Kareem knocks it out into the hands of Kelly. 7:25 on the clock in the third period.
Long way to go, as they say, Dick.
Driving in is John Long. Lane Beer fights him for the ball. Kareem blocks the shot. And now we're going to have we had a deflection, and I think that they started the 24-second clock again.
Here's the strong move by Long, but they force him to go to his left hand. Lambier in good position for the rebound. Long, if he hadn't challenged Lambier, would probably allowed Lambier to score as Kareem got into position to knock it out of bounds or knock it away.
They're having a problem with how much time remains on the 24-second clock after the block inside. 19.
Ball never hit the rim, so the clock should have been ticking down.
And now Jake O'Donnell says he's not happy with 19. He says the clock should be down a lot more, which is basically what you said. Bring it back to about 15.
That sounds fair.
I don't think they'll bring it down to 15 and a half.
Jake is anything but fair?
Long shot. Hit the rim. So that's why they needed a new clock, and they worked on 7 seconds on the 24-second clock. Good block by McAdoo. Here's Magic Johnson on a foray. Feeding inside to McGee, and McGee is fouled. Pistons don't agree as you look at the long-range view.
But the Lakers are slowly changing the momentum of this game with good defense, as you'll see right here. They funnel him right into McAdoo, who's not known as a shot blocker except by those who really know what's going on.
Will Cale Yarborough be the first to win 3 straight? The Daytona 500 on CBS Sports.
We've got what it takes, True Value.
Save now on their tool value of the month. In January, it's this Master Mechanic 4-in-1 screwdriver, just $3.59. It's ideal for driving slotted and Phillips head screws. And the 2 double-ended bits store conveniently in the shaft. Get your Master Mechanic 4-in-1 screwdriver for just $3.59. Look for the January Tool Value of the Month banner at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Here's to good friends.
Terrific reunion.
Yeah. The last time we were here, we made history. Tonight is kind of special. I stole that ball. I made the pass.
I made the shot.
Make that shot again, we'll buy you a low and rock. The beer will pour. Must say something more somehow.
Hey, what can I tell you? We still got it.
Never lost it. Let it be low and brown.
What's this stuff, guy? Aftershave skin conditioner. I know. I thought I was the only guy with sensitive skin. Every time I shave, I get it right here.
What do you fellas use? Because shaving irritates my whole face.
After. Try it. Looks different. It's rich. It's a lotion. After soothes razor scrape sensitive skin.
Hey, this feels great. And smells good, too. Terrific.
Sensible care for sensitive skin. Aftershave skin conditioner.
By Menon.
Next Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday, but you can start your day with a look at two of the fiercest rivals in all of professional sports. What a classic rivalry, and of course they're 1-1 on the year this season.
Well, the matchups are classic. Player against player, Bird against Irving, and Moses against Parrish. And the styles of play, the body bang and the inside games that both of them play. It's a classic matchup. It's heavyweight against heavyweight.
And that's at 1 o'clock next Sunday on CBS Sports. Hope you join us. Mike McGee hits the first free throw.
Right now, Dick, the momentum of this ball game is slowly starting to go back to L.A., and they've been doing it with good defense and some missed outside shots by the Pistons.
As we said, you live and die with the outside shot. When it's gone in, things are pretty sunny and bright, but we've seen it the other way.
The Lakers can take a little bit of the run out of the Pistons offense right now. They can climb back into it.
Kareem coming out to meet Lane Beer. He didn't want to get the shot off. 3 seconds on the 24-second shot clock. Loose ball, and the clock runs out. So, as Tommy just mentioned, the Los Angeles defense tightening up not only inside, but they're really not giving him the outside shot on the last for it.
And McAdoo being inserted into this ball game has allowed them to have a real leaping backline defensive unit. And McAdoo has shown his hand up there and intimidated some people.
6:15 remaining in the third period. They go to Worthy, gets free. Blocked by Roundfield. That's number 5 on Danny. For Danny, I should say. 2-on-1. Thomas. Long, and Long gets it in. Well, Magic had a shot at it. Isaiah. But the Pistons wound up with 2 points. McGee for 3. Hits the three-point play by Mike McGee.
2 years ago, I said that kid couldn't shoot from outside.
Lane Beer. It drops for him. Long time coming for Bill Lane Beer, isn't it?
They like to utilize him coming up as the 5th man on that break. And he normally knocks that in like it's a layup.
14-point lead. The biggest margin was 66-48 when Detroit was up by 18. McAdoo, offensive foul.
Here's more of Mr. Dan Roundfield. A little see you later, baby. And a block shot a la Bill Russell style allows the Pistons to get up quickly on the break.
Thomas getting free of McGee momentarily. Isaiah Thomas has 21 points in the ball game, along with 14 assists. Keep in mind, he's trailing by a small margin Magic Johnson in the league playmaking statistics. McGee, 2-point. No, that was a 3-point attempt. He missed it. Kareem, Worthy, and the Lakers are coming back. Their offense is also looking better.
And their board strength is looking better. They're starting to bang the offensive board a little bit better.
Lane Beer setting a screen for Isaiah Thomas. Dumps it off to Trapuka.
When he penetrates Isaiah Thomas, everybody's eyes automatically go to him, and Trapuka knows how to get open for the pass.
Magic. And now the points are coming hot and heavy. 18 points for Irvin Johnson. 76-62. And we will have a Laker foul.
LA foul number 40, Mike McGee. His second, the team's second.
With Isaiah Thomas having a 15-assist game, Isaiah just may overtake Irvin Johnson. They go on average assists, not total assists. Has to do with games played. McAdoo picking up Thomas. Trapuka. Roundfield. Offensive rebound and a big one for Detroit.
Boy, is he playing a ball game. When those outside shots are missing and there's a medium rebound, he's gobbling them up.
It's going to be Laker ball. Ed Middleton blew his whistle and said, my mistake, so he picked up the flag, so to speak.
Here's a medium rebound, and Roundfield with a good leaping ability pulls it down and back up with the short jumper.
4:11 remaining in the third period. Pistons in front. They doubled Kareem. Triple him, really. 10 on the shot clock. Kareem is going to fight anyway and draw the foul. He says, enough of this. I'll go to the line.
Well, he found a way to find some blue sky just a wee bit. There's Ranfield's stats. Wow, what an afternoon he's having. And that 5 block shots, I'll bet you they got about 3 or 4 fast break baskets out of those block shots.
This was the deal that sent Cliff Levingston, Antoine Carr, who was property of the Pistons but didn't play with them. He was in Italy last year, plus a couple of draft picks to Atlanta. It was a big trade and a big gamble in a lot of ways for Detroit because Roundfield's a veteran, but they are not looking down the line. They want some results now.
Well, I don't blame him, and he did have a little difficulty fitting in here really with the style of play, but he sure is now.
Pistons are in the penalty. Thomas coming off the screen by Lambier.
Now Lambier, does he set a pick, Dick?
Yep. He's perfect for that. Lakers want a timeout. It's 16 points. The Lakers have been playing better in the last 4 minutes, but they really haven't chopped off the Piston lead by all that much, 2 to be exact.
You know what I don't like about dandruff? Dandruff shampoos. I'm afraid they won't leave my hair the way I like it. This shampoo cares for my hair. It's the only one with a self-balancing formula. Puts dandruff protection where I need it, on my scalp, not on my hair, and it conditions where I need it. Leaves my hair looking and feeling good. Yeah, my shampoo's a dandruff shampoo, but it's today's Head and Shoulders, and it cares for my hair.
This beautiful southern mansion is home to the world-class cuisine of Anthony's in Atlanta. Tonight, we're secretly replacing Anthony's regular coffee with dark, sparkling, decaffeinated Folgers crystals. Will it be rich enough for our special guests?
It has a very good flavor to it.
Rich.
It's decaffeinated Folgers crystals. This is instant coffee. I'm serious.
That's
very, very
amazing.
good.
I'm really amazed because it is delicious.
Decaffeinated Folgers crystals. Coffee rich enough to be served in America's finest restaurants.
The best 6-passenger car value. The Plymouth Reliance Super K. Now we're offering our dealers automatic transmission at no extra cost. These savings may be passed on to you. You can save up to $439. Backed by a 5-year or 50,000-mile protection plan. The 550 Reliance Super K. Match it.
Top men and women athletes try to meet the challenge of the Triathlon World Championships, plus the All-Madden team, today on CBS Sports Sunday.
Don't forget, later today on CBS Sports Sunday, you can see some of the world's top men and women athletes try to meet the challenge of the Triathlon World Championships in Nice, France. And John Madden will select his very own NFL All-Madden team, of which Tom Heinsohn would be a star member. That's later today at 4:30. But a reminder, coming up next, college basketball. This is quite a matchup. SMU ranked number 4. And don't forget John Koncak, the 7-footer. You may remember him from the U.S. Olympic team. Brad Daugherty leads number 5, North Carolina. Dean Smith coaching the Tar Heels. That's the first time SMU and North Carolina have played in basketball. That's next on the home of the NCAA Championship, CBS Sports. Big day of sports on CBS. McAdoo. Worthy tries to tip it. Cooper has it. Cooper's in the ball game. It's Cooper, McGee, Johnson, Worthy, and McAdoo. Kareem getting a rest right now. McAdoo triple teamed and treating him like Kareem. Cooper to make it. Trapuka gets the rebound. Long. Quickly in the hands of Isaiah Thomas. John Long. You know, we had John Long Christmas Day. Of course, he was a little rusty from the holdout, didn't do well. Last year really struggled. So it's good to see John Long playing well on CBS, isn't it?
Well, as I said earlier, he is a very important member of this ball club because he is that good outside shooter and makes a great complementary play to go with Trapuka on the fast break. Those good outside shooters on the break on the wing can be devastating, and Isaiah takes advantage of them.
Cooper inbounding to McGee. Long. I'll tell you what, the Pistons deserve a lot of credit because the Lakers were coming back and they cut that off. 2:40 remaining in the third period. 18-point lead, matches the biggest of the game for Detroit as McAdoo gets 2 of them back. Kareem is on the bench. Of course, he has 10 points. The Lakers have had a losing record when they have been out-rebounded, and they're being out-rebounded right now by Detroit. Roundfield can't do anything wrong today. Cooper leads a charge. 4-on-3 for L.A. McGee from Worthy.
Well, they moved it around nicely that time, the Lakers. And I think the Pistons, with all those quick feet in there, are starting to lose a little bit, get back on defense, and Magic will exploit that.
Under 2 minutes remaining in the third period. 82-68 in favor of Detroit. The Lakers led 22-19. Their biggest lead was early in the game in the first period. Thomas, three-point attempt. Oh! 26 points for Isaiah Thomas.
Well, he's developing a sense of demoralizing you at the right moment.
And they're going to call a foul the other way against the Lakers. And right now, Chuck Daly, looking at a 17-point lead with 1:22 to go in the third, will bring in reinforcements from the bench as Kent Benson and Terry Tyler come in. Going out, Kelly Tripulka and Dan Roundfield, who has had a rousing game. 17 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 block shots. Earl Curitin is in there as well. Now, if the Lakers are going to make any kind of progress, they've got to do it now. Wouldn't you think?
I would think so. Although there's still plenty of time, and the Lakers can score them in bunches too.
Magic inside, but against this group, that would be their best chance. I wonder when Kareem might come back in.
The thing that's surprising me is that the Lakers aren't running as well as they normally do. They've got great speed, and they haven't really been able to untrack it today.
But maybe that's going away from that game a little bit. Is that possible in their overall strategy?
Could be, as they feel, you want to go to Jabbar a lot, perhaps get Lambeer in trouble, but the pace of this game has been all the way the Pistons wanted it. And what normally shows up when two fast break teams play against each other is who first is unwilling to really hustle back on the D to protect against the fast break of the other team.
Isaiah Thomas goes out with 26 points and 15 assists, replaced by Vinnie Johnson.
You know, this guy, John Long, again, a lot of people here in Detroit said, so what, but he was an unnoticed player. Offensively fine, but also defensively he complements Isaiah very well.
He has 16 points. 87-70 in favor of the Pistons with 37 seconds remaining in the third period. Looks like it was off Worthy's leg, and it is. And the Pistons again. The Pistons have just kept it going, and every time the Lakers have made any kind of a run, they have short-circuited in a hurry. Terry Tyler scored 21 points in the fourth quarter the other night. Wore a mask for a broken nose for several games. Tyler will go to the line. Terry Tyler.
I might have to wear a brace for a broken back after that foul by McAdoo.
This is his 529th straight game. Randy Smith has the record 906, and he had his nose broken Christmas Day by Bill Lambeer, of all people, accidentally. And he wore a mask, and he couldn't shoot at all. And then when they took the mask off, he scored 27 points Friday night against Indiana.
Yeah, with great up fakes like that there, and McAdoo leaped to the rafters, and that's a big lead.
Biggest lead of the ball game right now, 19 points for the Detroit Pistons. McGee will go to the line with 7 seconds to play, and Tyler commits the foul.
I never thought I'd ever see people challenging Mike McGee shooting three-pointers. But that was Tyler really going at him, banging him.
Brooks Steppe, who is playing left since Long has come back. Former #1 draft pick from Kansas City in the Continental Basketball Association has come in now, and the Pistons call a 20-second timeout with 7 seconds remaining in the third period. The closest division fight would have to be the Midwest Division at this point. Not only is Houston and Denver going back and forth in a seesaw affair almost daily. Houston's done so well with Olajuwon and Sampson, and Lionel Hollins now assuming the point guard role of Houston. But Denver, of course, is with added defense this year in that trade, which has helped them more than Portland. And Denver leads Houston by a half. But look at Dallas. Dallas quietly is coming on.
Yeah, I think they're going to keep quietly coming on, though. But I think Lionel Hollins has assumed the role that Bill Fitch wanted him to assume.
Brooks Steppy's shot misses at the buzzer. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score. The Detroit Pistons 89, the Los Angeles Lakers 71. We now pause for a word from your local station.
This is CBS.
If you're shopping for a car or a new VCR or any major purchase and don't have money to burn, call this toll-free number and let Consumer Reports help you get the best deal for your money. Call now for Consumer Reports 1985 Buying Guide issue free and get the money-saving facts on over 2,000 brand-name products. It's a gift with your paid subscription to Consumer Reports magazine. Look between the covers of each monthly issue and get a clear picture of which color TV edged out 16 popular brands, which fast foods were considered most nutritious, which cough remedy was judged unsafe by the FDA. Call now and get 11 regular issues of Consumer Reports plus 2 free gifts with your paid subscription. The 1985 Buying Guide issue and the Medicine Show. Plus, as part of your subscription, the 1986 Buying Guide issue when published, all for just $16.
Call toll-free 1-800-228-3800.
An old war sparks a new kidnapping Monday.
Up court with Bradley on the left. A pass to Bradley. Jump shot, left side. Good!
Hi, I'm Senator Bill Bradley. As a graduate of Princeton and a Rhodes Scholar, I know the value of a college education. That's why I'm happy that the NBA is offering $50,000 in college scholarships to high school seniors. For further information, contact your local team or write to NBA Scholarships, 645 Fifth Avenue, New York, New York, 10022. You don't have to be a basketball player to qualify.
Today's game between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Detroit Pistons is sponsored by light beer from Miller. Everything you've always wanted in a beer, and less. The Navy. It's not just a job, it's an adventure. And by Milky Way Bar. A Milky Way a day helps you work, rest, and play.
We're at the Silver Dome in Pontiac, Michigan, where Detroit leads the Los Angeles Lakers, and this is something we really anxiously wanted to show you. We've been planning this throughout the game. That's a couple of baskets on the other side of this huge arena, and this is a football stadium, of course. The Detroit Lions play here, and there you see some of the 23,700 plus on hand today. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is back in the ball game. He has scored 10 points. He has 12 rebounds, and you know the Lakers are going to go to him to try to chip away at this big deficit in the fourth period. Kent Benson. Benson over Kareem. When Benson was a rookie, he took a shot from Kareem, and they're still talking about it, huh?
Well, that's gone down in the memory book of the NBA, but Benson doesn't normally throw a hook shot in Kareem's face, I'll tell you.
Cooper into Kareem against Earl Curie. Maybe that'll be a charm. 12 points for Abdul-Jabbar. 91-73. We're in the opening minute. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn watching the Pistons trying to break the string of victories. Magic Johnson coming back home with the LA Lakers. Never lost. Coming back here. Terry Tyler hits. But there's always a first time. And the big lead of 20 points right now.
The Lakers are slowing the pace down, trying to chip away, but they've got to really kind of do it with better defense. They made some moves, but the Pistons have been right there ready to respond.
Cooper pass back from Kareem. Two Pistons fight for it, Curitin and Brooks Steppy.
Brooks Steppy would fight you for anything.
Vinnie Johnson, who's now the point guard, giving Isaiah Thomas a rest. We'll play both of them together many times. Steppy's a hard-nosed player and a good shooter if he gets the opportunity. Here's Earl Curitin.
Who said the Pistons don't have an inside game?
You didn't say that, did you? Here they go again.
A little pass by Brooks Steppy and Earl the Pearl, the new Earl the Pearl, with the hook.
Oh, we know Earl Curitin. rises to the occasion in the big games, as he showed with the 76ers against the Lakers a couple of years ago. But let's talk about the Lakers right now. Pat Riley in there. They did not get and have not gotten the challenge in the West that a lot of people thought they were going to finally get this year. And the thing is that the Lakers have to be looking about what do we need to do to beat Boston and Philadelphia. Do you think they're there or close to it, or have they helped their team at all?
Well, they're trying to put a lot more muscle into their ball game. And Spriggs' move was one of them. And worthy of being a starter, not that he didn't deserve to be, but they're looking for muscle.
There's Magic inside with a couple of fakes. Loses the ball to Brooks Steppe. 95-73, 22-point lead as the Pistons just keep adding it up. It's under 10 minutes to go in this fourth period. Tyler. And a foul inside. When they add the muscle, are they losing anything on the speed department?
I don't really think so. They've got some real great guys at the forward spot that can still run.
Us syncopators of progressive riffs have a unique style of jawing.
Howard says jazz musicians talk funny.
And after a gig, I finger pop with a light beer from Miller.
After playing, Howard enjoys a light beer.
Light is super cool and a breeze on the calories, you dig.
Light is less filling, with a third less calories than their regular beer. And the taste, Howard?
Oh, man, it's Obop Shaban. It's lay down, break down, birdie on the hot side of town.
He likes it.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer. And less.
Missile exercise, Caribbean.
Follow your target, over. Target's turning starboard outbound, over.
Fire. Most jobs promise you the world.
Birds away.
The Navy delivers. See your recruiter or call this number. Navy, it's not just a job, it's an adventure.
I'm out here moving Earth by 7 a.m. A few hours of this, and boy, I'm good and ready for a Milky Way bar. Take a break, get my mind on what's ahead. I love it.
You get the goodness of a quarter cup of milk in every bar. There's milk, natural cane and corn sugars, and thick, thick chocolate in a Milky Way bar.
Boy, that Milky Way's great. Life doesn't stop when the workday's done.
Milky Way day helps you work, rest, and play.
Tommy Heinsohn was a main man last week at the Celtics Legends game. Red Auerbach said people underestimated this man, number 15. We all know about his shooting. You saw the hook shot as a passer. Watch this. Sam Jones, after that nifty pass by Tommy, scored.
You know, some of the people said that was my only assist of my life.
Well, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I was second.
Second assist, all right? Tom Heinsohn was a great hero. I mean, he had that hook shot, the 22-footer, which started the ball game. Everyone went crazy. They knew Tommy was serious. You saw it at halftime, and of course, Tommy was so serious, he ran behind the bench to sneak away on a fast break.
Red Auerbach got mad at me. I sat on his lap, and he said, "You're getting sweat all over me."
That's the idea, Red. 97-73 with 9:45 remaining in the fourth period. Kareem coming back. When you're down by so much, you know, and you're the Lakers, you just be patient, say, let's do what we can and see how close we come.
Well, I got to get a few fast break baskets going. They can't keep going to their set offense. You can chip away, but I'll tell you, these Pistons are really executing their set offense very effectively.
Rambis to Cooper. But the Lakers seem to be content to play the half-court game now.
I'll tell you, they should have been able to convert that last steal into a fast break opportunity. They slowed it up primarily because the Pistons hustled back and broke the fast break down.
Brooks Steppe commits the foul, his first and the team's first in the fourth period. Steppe is guarding Irvin Johnson. And Michael Cooper hits from the corner. Michael Cooper, who is the best three-point shooter on this Laker team. He has hit 21 of them this year. Vinnie Johnson gets his own rebound. Kareem clears it. Out to Magic. Pushing it up. 3-on-2 break, and McGee converts.
That's what they have to do. Get back into that high gear mode and push it up at the Pistons defense. They got to score a couple of quick ones.
They scored 6 in a row, but they still got a long way to come. Traveling on Brooks Steppe. And now Isaiah Thomas is going to check back in the ball game. Chuck Daly not taking any chances this soon.
Here's the quick outlet pass, and Magic pushes it up. Not all the Pistons hustling back. Result, layup.
And that was the 8th turnover of the game, so the Pistons have protected the ball very well today.
Executed their set offense extremely well, and also were able to develop an inside game.
Steal by Curran. Earl Curran, terrific off the bench. Thomas. 28 for Isaiah Thomas. Lakers a little bit sloppy at times today.
Well, there goes Kareem down as Curran is playing footsie with him. But Curran uses his quickness. You'll see right here as they try to go to Kareem. Watch him just step in front. He knows that if he gets caught behind Kareem, it's all over for him. Kareem with the sky hook. No chance to block that, Earl Curran says.
Bill Laimbeer is in the game now. Cooper, McGee, 3-second violation against the Lakers. So these turnovers and the violations really are damaging to the Lakers, who need a long run, as Pat Riley knows, to get back into the ball game. They're 20 points down with under 8 minutes remaining. Vinnie Johnson.
He's one of my favorite players in the NBA. Where does he have the nerve driving in there against Kareem?
And at the other end, the Lakers come right back with Magic Johnson. But that's what probably keeps him in the NBA, that gutty kind of play that you're talking about.
Chuck Daly says Vinny doesn't know he's 6'1". He's from Brooklyn.
Laimbeer on a semi-pick and roll, bank shot from Isaiah Thomas. 103-81, and a foul at the other end.
Here comes Isaiah to Vinnie Johnson off that pick, and look, the strength of that drive for a little guy goes up over the top of Kareem. That's shooting the ball at a 7-footer.
Magic Johnson is the line for the Lakers.
3 team fouls against Detroit. And the foul was on Vinnie Johnson. Isaiah Thomas has 17 assists in the ball game. He had a career high of 21 just right before Christmas against Kansas City. So Thomas has got a chance to set an assist mark for himself today. Dumps it off to Vinnie Johnson. Magic. And the Lakers should get something out of this. And a foul inside. Laimbeer was fouled, a loose ball foul against the Lakers, and some of that frustration may begin to seep in here.
I'll tell you, that was great defense that time by Bill Laimbeer. He angled him off the play and then came up with the rebound, as we watched Dan Roundfield report it.
Roundfield is back in the ball game. Curitin goes out of the ball game, so the front court will be Laimbeer, Roundfield, and Tyler for the Pistons. John Long and Isaiah Thomas, their starters, on the back line. Worthy switching, double team on Isaiah, looking for the open man.
Now they're trying to play some press defense, little scramble defense against the Pistons.
John Long, 18 points for John Long, who's the second best shooter amongst the Pistons starters at 48% coming in. Here's a Laker team in which all their starters are over 50%. They lead the league, and the Pistons only one man 50%.
They're playing. When you let the Pistons run, you're unleashing a real force, because they can do it as well as anybody in the league right now, and better than a lot of teams that played in the past that were known as fast break teams.
Pat Riley's going to empty his bench, perhaps. We've seen the likes of Mitch Kupchak, and Jamal Wilkes now gets off, too. Roundfield, and it's going to be Laker ball. So coming in the ball game is Mitch Kupchak, who's made a valiant and dramatic comeback from multiple knee injuries. And Jamal Wilkes will also be coming in for the first time in the ball game, and we'll be back.
Some of the roughest roads are
The creature.
What creature?
Well, legend has it that a horrible thing stalks these woods. It comes out when the moon is full. What does this creature look like? It walks on 2 legs, but it isn't human.
got big eyes and bulge out and...
It's the great time! Hey, guys, where you going? Hey, guys, where are the marshmallows?
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Come on, it's after us! Man, did you see that thing?
The fourth-ranked SMU Mustangs will unleash their run-and-gun attack on Dean Smith's North Carolina Tar Heels in college basketball on CBS Sports. Next.
A reminder, coming up next, college basketball on CBS, the first ever meeting between SMU and North Carolina. Brad Daugherty leading the Tar Heels under Dean Smith and 7-footer John Koncak. Now, you've had a chance to see a lot of the big men. He was on the Olympic team. And what are your views on Koncak and his potential?
Well, there's no question he's going to be a high draft choice in the next draft. Got some good moves, and he's a strong inside player. And he's fairly mobile. So he's going to go high in the draft, I think.
Everyone talks about Patrick Ewing, but there'll be other people. And Koncak is a big man who could be a good big man. It's Kupchak. Lane Beer gets the rebound. Outlet pass. Pistons are playing the game like it's 0-0. Thomas. John Long wide open. And James Worthy gets it out quickly to Cooper. Cooper, Worthy, Wilkes, McGee, and Kupchak are the 5 in there for the Lakers. Jamal gets it into McGee. And he can't convert. Kupchak trying to save it, but he does into the hands of Isaiah Thomas. Behind his back to Long. Back they go the other way. 5 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the fourth period. And the Detroit Pistons are going to break the Los Angeles Lakers' hold on coming back home with Magic Johnson and winning in Pontiac, Michigan. They're going to break that string.
Pistons will keep running at you right for the full 48 minutes, except right here where Isaiah's going to slow it down and say, let's get one shot here.
Well, now they can use some of that clock with under 5 minutes to go, leading by 24 points. Coming off his pick and roll, Roundfield. Basket good and a foul. Dan Roundfield has 19 points right now in the ball game.
Not too many players execute the pick and roll. An old standby play in basketball for years and years and years, but Isaiah is the perfect player for pick and roll play because he can make a super pass. Watch this nice pass as Roundfield has left to go to the hoop. Roundfield puts it on the floor, little fake there, lifted Kupchak.
3-point play, and Roundfield has 20. Thomas is the high scorer with 28. Magic Johnson 22 points for the Lakers, and Worthy has 20. As the Pistons come right back with Terry Tyler. Thomas runs right in to Ronnie Lester, who's making his first appearance in the game. Ronnie Lester, remember him out of the University of Iowa, and the Chicago Bulls, had tough knee injuries and hung in there with Chicago and was picked up on waivers, and Pat Riley said basically he's insurance as a point guard for this team.
I really have never seen Ronnie Lester play a lot of basketball. He's been, had so many of those knee injuries, but always they thought he was going to be a fine player in the pro.
30 points for Isaiah Thomas. We have 4:15 to go. So the Pistons, who last year split with the Lakers, they won in Los Angeles, losing here. McGee hits from the corner, winning big in this game. Now Detroit, we talked about, can they get up there with the other bigwigs, but Detroit's big competition would appear to be Milwaukee and Washington in the East right now.
They have the most talented players in their division, I think, Detroit. It's just a matter of getting the chemistry together, which I see them doing, particularly after today's good game.
Lane Beer with the shot. Magic Johnson coming back home is going to rest the last few minutes. And, of course, the thing you mentioned, the bench, getting the bench rotation working.
Well, some of those players were starters at the beginning of the year, and now they have to get back to knowing how and what to do coming off the bench. It's a difficult job coming off the bench.
Here's Jack McCloskey, who I guess is the architect of the big trade that brought Dan Roundfield to Detroit, and there's a smile well-deserved for McCloskey as Roundfield, Thomas, and Tyler leave the game.
And Jack McCloskey also had a tough job signing a lot of free agents this year over the course of the summer, so it was a lot of hard work on his part to put this ball club together from last season to this season.
You know, we've been talking about coaches. You know, Pat Riley just signed a new contract just prior to the season. But Chuck Daly is in the last year of a 2-year pact, and a lot of people have questioned what his future is. And, of course, he's been only the winningest coach of the 17 that have coached here in Detroit in the 28 years the franchise has been here.
I think they'll ink a new one for him.
They should. He's a winner. Larry Spriggs.
Larry Spriggs.
114 to 85. Isaiah Thomas, 30 points, 20 assists, one short of the NBA high of the year held by Isaiah, 2 rebounds and 4 steals. So who do you think will be buying dinner for whom the next time Magic and Isaiah get together?
Well, does winner buy or loser buy?
If it's,
you know, there's a gentleman thing. You know, when you're in my town and I win, I pay.
Timeout with 2:54 remaining here. 116 to 85. A big day for the Pistons.
Form that follows function. Optimal thrust, intelligence, elegance. Every inch, every edge, engineered to perfection. The shape of things to come has come. The Audi 5000S, sedan, wagon, turbo. Audi, the art of engineering.
Jack Rafferty proves you just can't tell.
The fellas that I work with are pretty perceptive. They don't miss too much. No one had picked up the fact that the gray was gone from my hair. It was that simple. No one realized I was using the Grecian Formula 16. It was so gradual. The Grecian has a natural look about it. It's not a dye, it's a clear liquid. The questions most asked by the fellas at work were, what are you doing? You working out? Are you losing weight? And unless I told them I was using the Grecian Formula 16, they never would have guessed.
Grecian Formula 16. You just can't tell who's using.
I don't compete anymore, but I still pump iron. So after lifting a few hundred pounds, it's nice to lift one of these. Light beer from Miller. Light tastes great, and it's less filling with a third less calories than the regular beer. Now, you know, bodybuilding is hard work, but having a great body has its advantages. It sure makes it easy to pick up guys. Hi, Rodney.
Well, hi there. What's going on here? Hey, honey, how about a lift home, huh?
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Well, next week, Super Bowl Sunday, but one of the big attractions in sports will occur at 1 o'clock Eastern time right here on CBS. Another battle between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics, and here are the two centers who will tangle, Moses Malone and Robert Parrish.
Well, each has a difficult time with the other one. Moses on those boards and banging around, and Robert Parrish with that sweeping hook shot. So I like to watch that matchup myself.
Ronnie Lester driving around Brooks Steppe, blocked by Earl Cureton. It'll be Laker ball. Magic Johnson. You know, Magic Johnson
looks like he's going to buy dinner. Look at that face.
You know, talk about last year's NBA Finals, Tommy, with the Celtics. He says it's something that's always going to be with him because a lot of people are still blaming Magic Johnson for that setback.
Well, I think Magic Johnson, you know, when you get down to the crunch time of a ball game, is a guy that's supposed to take it over. And, you know, you don't make the great play on every great clutch situation. You do miss some. And I think the fans just expected too much of Magic.
That's a good analysis. Traveling call. Jamal Wilkes hit the jump shot at the other end. We've told you about the Jamal Wilkes story. Wilkes, of course, without much playing time, can't prove that he could play like he used to play. And that's, you know, that big problem right now that exists with the Lakers.
Well, all the teams are going so much bigger up front, and he was, as the nickname implies, silky, very smart player, but not very physical. And with some ball clubs, he'd fit in beautifully, who have those real power people to complement him.
Under 2 minutes to go, 116 to 89. The Detroit Pistons will have won 5 out of 6 with the victory here. Brooks Steppe from the corner. One thing about the Pistons, not only inflicting the worst loss of the year on the Lakers, but every time the Lakers showed any kind of semblance of making a comeback, they blundered in a hurry.
Well, the Pistons played super defense, particularly to stop the Laker fast break. They were getting 3 and 4 guys back there faster than I've seen in a long time, and did a good job on the boards and also cutting down on the outlet passes of the Lakers.
Larry Spriggs scoring at the other end. Piston ball here with 1:19 showing. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 14 points. Certainly not one of his sterling games. The sky hook just didn't fall for him today, and it was just one of those days for Kareem, but we'll be seeing him, and that's great news, next year as well. Traveling called.
Laker ball.
Kelly Tripucka and Bill Lane-Beer, all-stars a year ago, sitting on the bench. Tripucka scored 9, but this was the man, along with Roundfield, who set the pace. Isaiah Thomas, 30 points, 20 assists, and 4 steals. So it's Isaiah's day, along with Roundfield up front. Ronnie Lester, baseline shot. Jamal Wilkes with a fake and a basket. Under a minute to go, and for Pat Riley, he's looking ahead. He's got Milwaukee coming up, and then a game against the Boston Celtics in Boston Wednesday. The Lakers recently reeled off 9 in a row. .38 seconds remaining. 3-point attempt by Mike McGee.
I'll tell you, he has turned into some kind of outside shooter, Mike McGee.
Second 3-point play of the game. He's just turned into a real good offensive machine, and I guess he may be one of the best 8th men in the game right now.
Bet you he'd be somebody's third guy in the NBA right now if the Lakers would turn him loose. What a player he's turned into be.
Illegal defense called against the Detroit Pistons.
That's a technical foul.
And that's the second time that's been, it's in the last 24 seconds. It is a technical foul. But John Long will go on the line. 23,700 today came to see whether the Detroit Pistons could finally beat the Lakers with Magic Johnson here at the Silverdome. And not only did they beat them, they beat them soundly. And it's 119-96 right now. Chuck Daly ought to be very pleased about that. Pat O'Brien will be along. We'll have a post-game show. He'll have a report on the SMU North Carolina game, which is upcoming right after this game, and the all John Madden team. I'm looking forward to that one. McGee at the other end. Biggest defeat of the year for the LA Lakers.
Did you make the all John Madden
team? I
team?
don't have a prayer. No, you got to be rugged and dirty and muddy and like to wallow around in that kind of stuff.
That's not you.
Tommy, you'd make it. Isaiah Thomas with that terrific smile. And that reflects the feeling of the Pistons. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar will wait for another day. The Detroit Pistons have beaten the Los Angeles Lakers 121-98. So Magic's homecoming is not that happy. Detroit wins big. And we'll be sending it to New York. And Pat O'Brien coming right up.
Giving that extra effort makes winners. The all-you-can-be, sponsored by the U.S. Army. Detroit's Isaiah Thomas plays basketball with a passion that transcends the game. The flashy playmaker has become one of the NBA's premier point guards, leading the Pistons in 1984 to their first playoff berth in 7 years. An exuberant performer who makes maximum effort look easy. Isaiah Thomas keeps striving to be the best he can be.
Technology is taking over the world. You can keep up with it, or you're going to be left behind. That's why I joined the Army.
From microchip circuitry to laser technology, the world's largest school for high-tech skills is the Army.
Bravo, go active. Bravo, lock, 05.
Be all that you can be.
I don't intend to get left behind.
Find your future in the Army.
Hi, everybody. Pat O'Brien once again in New York City. Coming up next here on...
Giving that extra effort makes winners. The all-you-can-be, sponsored by the U.S. Army. Detroit's Isaiah Thomas plays basketball with a passion that transcends the game. The flashy playmaker has become one of the NBA's premier point guards, leading the Pistons in 1984 to their first playoff berth in 7 years. An exuberant performer who makes maximum effort look easy. Isaiah Thomas keeps striving to be the best he can be.
Technology is taking over the world. You can can keep up with it, or you're going to be left behind. That's why I joined the Army.
From microchip circuitry to laser technology, the world's largest school for high-tech skills is the Army.
Bravo, go active. Bravo, lock, 05.
Be all that you can be.
I don't intend to get left behind.
Find your future in the Army.
Hi, everybody. Pat O'Brien once again in New York City. Coming up next here on CBS, we have number 4 ranked SMU, the Mustangs against North Carolina. And for a report on that contest, let's go out to Brent Musburger. Brent?
All right, Pat, thank you. And, of course, coming up here, we have SMU ranked 4th in one of the polls against the Tar Heels of North Carolina, ranked 5th. Now, the Mustangs come in here coached by Dave Bliss, who once was an assistant coach under Bobby Knight at Indiana, and he also worked for him up at West Point. And a short time ago, my colleague Billy Packer, he had a conversation with Dave, talking to him about playing non-conference games this time of the season.
Dave, yesterday we saw a game between Washington and Duke in which a coach brought his team all the way across the country to play during the regular season time. You're doing the same thing today. Is it a new philosophy on the part of you coaches to take on all comers?
I think that's a property that basketball perhaps has over football, because our schedules aren't made up so long in advance that we can't do something like this. And Washington has a fine team. They played a fine game last year against Duke. This gives our program an opportunity to come across and really gain exposure. More than anything else, try to get better.
And Dave, how about as far as NCAA tournament time is concerned? Do you consider this a major preparation type step?
I think Denny Crum was one of the first coaches that tried to do this. He did it a couple of years ago. He probably knew he was going to get in the tournament. The rest of us are kind of struggling along, but it does prepare you.
You've got a great center. They do too. Outstanding backcourts. What's going to be the key matchups today?
Well, I think perhaps we haven't had the opportunity to face as many changing defenses as North Carolina has. Playing in front of a hostile crowd of sorts. We've tried to prepare for that with games such as the Kentucky game this year, but it's the exposure to this setting that's the best for your team. Last year when we played Georgetown, I didn't think we'd been exposed to that enough to really play successfully, so that's what the intent is now.
Good luck to you. It should be some ball game.
Yeah, we hope it will be.
We'll see you.
Okay.
Billy, what about North Carolina? Do they come in tired? They had that tough physical game against Virginia yesterday before pulling it out.
Well, they did, but they didn't have that big a road trip to make coming back from Charlottesville. I don't think they'll be tired at all, and I think SMU is going to be properly prepared, much as opposed we had yesterday with Washington coming into the tired ball club.
These two schools have one thing in common. Each has lost but one game this year, and both of those losses were inflicted over in the state of Hawaii. SMU lost to Chaminade, and doesn't everybody? And North Carolina's only loss of the season was against Missouri. So Billy and I will be here in Greensboro. We think it's going to be a very interesting game. Let's go back to New York, and here's Pat O'Brien.
All right, Brent and Billy, thank you very much. We look forward to that contest. Now, coming up later today on CBS Sports Sunday, we had the World Triathlon Championship. John Tesh from the Riviera, French Riviera. And today there's no football on CBS. There's no football anywhere for that matter. But we do have John Madden, the all-Madden team, the 1985 Madden team. And, hey, wait a minute. There's John now at Stanford Stadium. Hi, John.
Hey, Pat. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you? Listen, what was the criteria to pick the team this year?
Well, criteria, one thing about this team, this all-Madden team, we don't even know what words like criteria mean. It's just a bunch of guys, that Pat Summerall and I have seen over the years and kind of think would make a nice team. Now, you know, we have all-pro, and you have all-American, and you have Pro Bowl, and all-NFC, and all-AFC, and those things kind of make sense. But I don't know who said it had to make sense, and I'll guarantee you the all-Madden team is a bunch of good guys, and it really doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, fill us in a little bit on how you selected the players.
Well, we just got some guys, and basically it's the real things. I mean, the guys that like to play in dirt and mud and snow and you know those type of guys. We didn't end up with any kickers on the team. We took, like everyone takes kickers and then they try and teach them how to tackle. So what this team has, it has some guys that can tackle, then we're going to teach them how to kick.
Should people feel left out if they're off the list?
Oh, I don't know. That's one of the tough things. I mean, it's not really an all-pro team because we didn't see everyone. For example, the Miami Dolphins in the Super Bowl, and they're a great team, and we don't have any Dolphins on the team just because we didn't do any of their games.
John, we're looking forward to that, and we'll see you later on CBS Sports Sunday. Thank you very much. Coming up now here on CBS, we've got Dan Roundfield out of Detroit. We're going to have an interview with him, and stay tuned for that. That's coming up shortly.
When you've got a long way to go, it's nice to go with a friend. The 1985 Toyota Standard Bed truck toughened up this year with more horsepower than ever, so you know it can carry its share of the load. The new Toyota Standard Bed truck at only $59.98.
Friend, you're worth twice the price.
First, someone gets an idea. Then someone else may look at it differently. Even add a thought or two. Technology from a company called TRW helps ideas get around. Because getting an idea from one place to another is as important as getting an idea. Tomorrow is taking shape at a company called TRW.
Welcome! They said he couldn't retrieve his own shadow, but you didn't give up on him. Now comes your time.
To Miller time.
And Miller time means it's time for the best beer you can find. Miller High Life.
Bring your thirsty self right here. The rich, smooth taste of Miller beer is what you have in mind.
Welcome to Miller High Life.
Welcome to Miller time.
Did you ever notice that just when you think you see the whole picture, the picture changes? Technology from a company called TRW lets us look at our world in fresh ways. Because there's more to everything than meets the eye. Tomorrow is taking shape at a company called TRW.
A terrific game all the way around for the Detroit Pistons, administering the worst setback for the Lakers this year, 121-98 here at the Silverdome in Pontiac. And our light beer most valuable player of the game is Dan Roundfield. Light beer from Miller is proud to present a check for $1,000 to the National Multiple Sclerosis Foundation on behalf of Dan Roundfield. 20 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 blocks. Yesterday, we were at your practice. You said, you know, in all the years I was in Atlanta, never got on national television, hardly at all. And now I'm glad I'm going to, and now you're really getting the big exposure.
Well, you know, I thank you guys for putting us on, and we want to show that we can play, and we came out and played today.
Boy, did you ever play, right, Tommy?
Well, I want to say this. Dan Roundfield, at the beginning of the season, I'd like to ask him, what took you so long to get involved in this ball club?
Well, basically, this is a different type of team that I'm used to playing with, and I felt that at the start of the season, I wasn't really with it, and I wasn't playing the way I can. And I said with the new year, my new year resolution was that I was going to come out and work a lot harder to get in the game.
Well, one of the things I'm sure right now, do you think this ball game has gotten the monkey off your back as far as the Detroit fans are concerned?
Well, basically, I've had a couple of good ball games this week. I had a good ball game against Philly, and then I came back and I played the way I had been playing against Indiana, and then I came out tonight and played well. So it's a situation I might have to go out every night and play hard.
You know, of course, you were brought along for your inside play and your defense, and your defense is probably what got you the MVP of the game. Here's one of your 5 block shots in the ball game when it really counted, when the game was close inside.
Well, the situation that on a guy like James Worthy, you know that he's going to take the ball to the basket, so you just got to go up there and try to make him change it if at all possible, and I was lucky enough to get that one.
And here's an offense, they're really getting the ball into you low now, more so than they did in the beginning of the season.
Well, what we're trying to do is, I told Isaiah, I said, hey, I can help you if you can get it in here, and since I'm not a guard, you got to bring it to me. So I'm working inside, and hopefully it'll continue all season.
Was this the best game the Pistons have played all year? You've now won 5 out of 6. How do you rate it?
Well, you know, this is not indicative of the way we've been playing. We played a great game in Philly, and we lost. So, you know, everybody goes, well, hey, you played good, but you didn't win. But tonight we won, and, you know, it looks good.
Congratulations to Dan Roundfield, and maybe his son will no longer say, Julius Erving is my favorite player. Maybe both of his kids will say, well, I think my dad, Dan Roundfield's #1. So that's the story here. We'll be back. Right now, let's go back to Pat O'Brien in New York. Pat?
All right, thank you, Dick and Tommy and Dan. Coming up on CBS, NCAA basketball action with SMU in North Carolina. That's coming up shortly. And then following that, CBS Sports Sunday with the World Triathlon Championships and the 1985 All-Madden football team. We're going to take a look at some more NBA action, and we're going to tell you a story about the Denver Nuggets, defense of all things, after this. Stay with us.
Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch Milk Chocolate. That's creamy, blending crispies. Ooh, so dreamy. Gotta have it. It's so scrumptious. Love that chocolate when it crunches. Crunches. Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch.
There's no better way to end a perfect day than to head for the best beer you can find.
Welcome to Miller Time.
At Miller High Life, we begin with nature's finest ingredients. Then we brew our beer so it contains no additives, no preservatives, so nothing comes between you and the taste of just pure beer.
Welcome to Miller Time.
First, someone gets an idea. Then someone else may look at it differently. Even add a thought or two. Technology from a company called TRW helps ideas get around. Because getting an idea from one place to another is as important as getting an idea. Tomorrow is taking shape at a company called TRW.
Feel it, feel it, feel it. That Maximo feeling. Feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. Feel it oh so close.
It's here. Noxzema Shave Cream for extra sensitive skin. Feel that soothing blue lather protecting you from irritation. Feel the closeness. Feel the comfort.
Feel it oh so close.
Medicated Noxzema Shave Cream for extra sensitive skin.
Maximo feeling. Feel it oh so close.
Next Sunday here on CBS, a great way to start your Super Bowl Sunday, a good menu of basketball, the Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics. That's in the Boston Garden at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. That's next Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. Now, earlier on CBS, you saw the Pistons defense shut down the Lakers. In other action today, right now, New Jersey leads Houston 62-49. Now, the Rockets trying to take away first place in the Midwest Division from the surprising Denver Nuggets, who face Milwaukee this afternoon. And you know, when you think of defense, I'll guarantee you don't think about the Denver Nuggets. They have the worst in the NBA, but consider this. It's not as bad as it used to be.
Denver is one of the fastest growing cities in America, where the getaways are always fun, the snow always powdery, and the fans here will weather any storm to see their beloved Broncos play defense. But in local basketball here, defense didn't even exist for Nugget fans.
They're just standing around. They are not playing defense at all.
Last year, we were a terrible defensive team. We didn't have, to go along with the bad defense, we didn't have any rebounding.
I don't think that you can truly win in the NBA and win everything without being an outstanding defensive club. And we have added a certain amount of intensity to our defense, which we never had here the last couple, 3 years.
They traded all-star Kiki Vandeweghe to Portland for some intensity, help on both sides of the court. There's Calvin Nat, the quick hands of Lafayette Lever, and the shot-blocking abilities of Wayne Cooper.
Getting Calvin Nat, Wayne Cooper, and Fat Lever for Kiki really helped us in all the other areas of our game other than offense. We're a better team rebounding-wise. We're a much better team defensively.
Our defense has been outstanding so far. It's kept us in a lot of games because through stretches our offense has struggled.
And Coach Doug Moe, of all people, finds himself in the unusual role of a defensive expert.
The faster you play, the tougher it is to play defense. So our objective is to make sure that the other team's defense in our particular game against us is a little worse than ours. Pretty good theory. I mean, it's really terrific.
He can't believe it either. Coming up here on CBS, an interview with Isaiah Thomas. That's next. Stay with us.
Welcome to Miller Time.
Miller Time begins here, where Miller High Life waits for the finest ingredients to reach their golden best. Then we go beyond ingredients and use the finest brewing skills, making sure Miller High Life contains no additives and no preservatives, So come your Miller time, you get nothing but the fresh, smooth taste of just pure beer. Welcome to Miller High Life.
Welcome to Miller time.
Did you ever notice that just when you think you see the whole picture, the picture changes? Technology from a company called TRW lets us look at our world in fresh ways. Because there's more to everything than meets the eye. Tomorrow is taking shape at a company called TRW.
Back here at Pontiac at the Silver Dome, 30 points for this man, but he also had 20 assists, and Isaiah Thomas has passed his buddy, Magic Johnson, leading the NBA in assists. What do you think?
That's good, but I don't think it'll last for long.
You don't think it'll last, huh?
Played a great game today. How important was this win for you?
It was very important to our ball club because we're playing well, and it's good that we play well and win. It's not nice to play well and lose.
Who's going to buy dinner next time?
Oh, definitely Magic.
Definitely Magic. Okay, thank you,
So
Isaiah
the loser
Thomas.
pays, huh? We were trying to figure it out.
We weren't sure. Okay, thank you. Congratulations, Isaiah Thomas. Thanks very much. So for Tommy Heinsohn, this is Dick Stockton saying so long from the Pontiac Silverdome. Final score, Detroit 121, LA 98. Next week starts your Super Bowl Sunday with the Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics. Stay tuned for college basketball as SMU takes on North Carolina. The NBA on CBS has been a presentation of CBS Sports.
Fly the friendly skies of United, serving more of the nation's top 100 business centers than anyone.
You're not just flying, you're flying the friendly skies.
Every Monday, people talk about what was on 60 Minutes Sunday. Don't be left out. 3 more stories this week they'll be talking about next week, this evening on CBS.
Last Saturday night at the house down the street, the kids came looking for a rock and roll beat. Upstairs, they were grooving to the best sound around, playing foot-stomping music to rock the house down.
You really got me going.
Rocking down the house. 50 original hits to get you off of your seat. The original stars, the original beat, the limbo, the twist, the Watusi-2. This is great music for whatever you do.
Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music. Any old way you choose it. I got a whole lot of love for you. Cause you said be one. There's something that I have to tell you. Something tells me.
Rocking down the house on a 5-record set, or you can get yours on long play cassette. 50 great hits for dancing and singing. 50 great hits to get your party swinging. But you better be careful how much that you play, because some of your guests might get carried away.
To order, use your MasterCard or Visa. Call free 800-554-3000. That's 800-554-3000. For Save CUD in handling by sending 1995 for 5 records, 3 8-tracks, or 3 cassettes to Rockin' Down the House. Box 7000-20, Palm Springs, California. That's Rockin' Down the House. Box 7000-20, Palm Springs, California. Please specify cassettes, records, or 8-track tapes.
Robert Mitchum, live, Monday at 5.
This was supposed to be a rebuilding year for mighty North Carolina. On Wednesday night against Maryland at home, they trailed by 3 with 26 seconds to go. Dave Popson hit the jump shot, and it was another miracle ending. Yesterday, the Tar Heels went into Virginia. They trailed by as many as 9 points in the second half. Then they came back, tied the game. Buzz Peterson hit the jump shot that put them ahead to stay. And this afternoon, 7-foot center John Concack brings the Mustangs of SMU in here to Greensboro. A year ago in the tournament, Concack put it in Patrick Ewing's face before Georgetown rallied to win. And of course, they went on to capture the NCAA tournament. We'll have another sellout crowd. It's coming up this afternoon. 5th-ranked North Carolina against 4th-ranked SMU, live on CBS.
CBS Sports presents NCAA basketball. Today's game between the SMU Mustangs and the North Carolina Tar Heels. Sponsored by Bud Light, the light beer with a taste that's satisfying but never filling. U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start. And by Mazda and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products.
So here in Greensboro this afternoon, the confrontation between SMU and North Carolina. And a very good afternoon to everybody. I'm Brent Musburger, and with me, of course, is my colleague, Billy Packer. And Billy, when we think about coaches and the great Dean Smith, what a rebuilding job he's done with the Tar Heels here.
Well, Dean Smith, Brent, has put together a basketball program, not a team. So he doesn't rebuild. He really retools. And he has outstanding ball players all the way up and down his lineup, and he just puts them back together again in the form of a team, and this year he has another outstanding ball club.
Over on the SMU bench this afternoon, of course, is Dave Bliss, and he's another disciple of Bobby Knight, Billy.
Well, I'm sure Bob will be watching this game today, but one thing Bob does when he watches Dave's team play, he closes his eyes whenever he sees them on defense, because they play a zone, not the man-to-man. But he is an outstanding young coach, did a great job at Oklahoma, and likewise now at SMU.
How about the style of play now? How will these two teams match up against each other?
Well, we've got both teams with outstanding centers and explosive backcourt, so that's something that good ball clubs like to have, and I think we'll see them go head-to-head against each other.
I mentioned John Koncak. I saw Jerry West, the Lakers, Rod Thorne of the Bulls. They were in here to scout him, but he's matched against Brad Doherty. Will that be a good confrontation?
I think it really would, and I think that although Koncak has an edge in experience, Doherty has a surprising year statistically, so I think that's going to be a very key matchup in this one.
Well, SMU, of course, attempting to prove that they belong with the elite. And coming up live, it's SMU against North Carolina.
Sodium can turn up where you least expect it, even in your antacid tablet. Looking for an antacid without sodium? Tums is sodium-free, and it also neutralizes 1/3 more stomach acid than the other leading brand. Tums lets you do without the heartburn and without all that sodium. And for liquid strength in a tablet, Tums EX.
When you first see the Mazda RX-7, you begin to understand why it has become a legend among today's sports cars. Because beyond its classic styling, you soon discover the sheer perfection of its bucket seats. You experience its comprehensive instrumentation and feel the preciseness of its 5-speed. These things alone help make it an exceptional value. But to gain an even deeper understanding of the RX-7, you're going to have to experience roads like these for yourself. Mazda RX-7. Experience it.
If you've got what it takes and really care, there's a special kind of life you'll want to share. Serving your country's a special call. It's good for you, it's good for all. Not all who try fit the bill. It calls for brains, it calls for skill in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. High-tech and the services go hand in hand. It's a whole new world. You're in demand in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. You'll move up, you'll feel proud. You'll stand out above the crowd in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. But most of all, you'll earn the respect of the people and country you're there to protect. In the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, it's a great place to start.
Want to build a super day? Then start with the one great taste that makes a super bowl of cereal. Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Just think of crispy golden flakes.
Delicious, crunchy flakes of corn.
So pure and simple, just can't wait.
Low in sugar, loaded with vitamins and iron.
So good for you, don't hesitate.
For a super bowl of our most nutritious corn flakes ever.
What a super bowl. Have yourself a super bowl. Kellogg's Corn Flakes. Super taste, super good. Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for SMU and North Carolina and some of the matchups you can enjoy this afternoon. The big forward Larry Davis of the Mustangs. He draws David Thompson of the Tar Heels in that particular spot. Scott Johnson will be the small shooting forward for SMU. He goes against Buzz Peterson, yesterday's hero. There's the confrontation in the middle. Koncak and Doherty, and that'll be a war inside between those two. Now in the backcourt. Butch Moore, underrated, unheralded from SMU against Kenny Smith, one of the best point men in the United States. And the other guard, wait till you get a look at Carl Wright. He's a showman supreme for the SMU team. And Steve Hale, good shooter. He can get it done for Dean Smith, too. And our officials today, the veteran Lenny Wirtz working with Paul Hausman and Tom Flynn. Three-man crew here this afternoon. And there is the season comparison. The SMU team with one more victory. The AP ranking, of course, of 4th. And North Carolina is 5th, and that could be adjusted depending on what happens here this afternoon. The Tar Heels in white, They control, and Hale moves it now to Kenny Smith. Smith will handle the ball as much as possible for Smith. Buzz Peterson, right switching over on him as they move, of course, out of that zone defense, and Hale takes the game's first shot.
Excellent screen by Doherty against that 2-3 zone. As I said, SMU will be in that 2-3 just about all the time. North Carolina switches defenses almost every time down the court.
One of the things about Wright, he performs very well against the better teams, as he did against Oklahoma earlier this year when they downed the Sooners.
There's Doherty and a foul on the inside on Konkak, just hold a little bit. Wright has tremendous quickness advantage over Hale, but Hale usually finds himself matched up. We'll see that pushing inside, throwing the bodies at each other, and there's Doherty using his legs to go ahead and try to get position. Kind of a close call for this early in the ballgame.
Doherty coming off a battle against Olin Polynice inside, and Davis trying to get it down, drew the foul.
Davis is a powerful guy. He has a tendency to fade out in certain ball games and all of a sudden come alive. He looked like he was ready to come alive right off the bat there, Brent.
Coming up to the free throw line as Popson has assessed his first personal foul.
Back to that Hale against Wright matchup. Hale often finds himself against a quicker man, but his good positioning and good intelligence on the floor usually keeps him in decent shape.
Davis, not a particularly good free throw shooter. He hits 46% on the season. He is 6'7", weighs 225 pounds, and looks like he could play a little football for the Mustangs, doesn't he?
That's a nice release on that shot to be shooting that poorly. Here's a little pressure.
Tar Heels get it up quickly to the attack, using Peterson, one of their forwards, across the timeline. This is Kenny Smith, perhaps their best athlete out of the Queens, New York.
Notice how Bliss has Wright on the same side as Johnson. Good dish.
Hobson has the Tar Heels ahead 4-1 in the early going.
I look for North Carolina to try to work that side with Johnson down and low. Man-to-man pressure really extended out a long way now by North Carolina.
Smith switches defenses. Hard to recognize them sometimes as you come down the floor. Johnson shoves into Davis, and he began his assault, and he traveled.
Davis looks like he's into this ball game. That's twice now he's tried to make an aggressive offensive move, and even though he made a mistake there, I'm sure Dave Bliss likes it.
Long pass to Hale to break the pressure. Kenny Smith.
Best way to beat a zone is to get it back down court. Back to the straight man-to-man.
Here is Moore. They list him. They shove backdoor inside to Konkak. Good move.
Excellent move, Brandon. Konkak really put Doherty on his hip that time.
North Carolina has hit its first 3 field goals. Deflected, run down by Smith. Hobson moving the ball to Peterson.
Again, working Johnson's side. He's much smaller on that back line. It's better working against him than it is Davis.
And there's the double team. They move on the trap. Inside to Konkak again, and there's no stopping that shot.
Doherty is trying to play on his side to prevent him from getting the ball, but Konkak holds position very well.
Here's Doherty coming inside. Shot, it'll count, and he drew the foul.
He just threw up a prayer. Konkak was trying to get position. We'll see the play again. Into Doherty. North Carolina beating him back down court. I really thought it was an offensive foul. Got away with it. Doherty's going to get not only the 2 points, but he's also going to get 1 shot.
Well, it's been a great balance with this Tar Heel team. Each of the starters now has scored. They go up 10-5. That's the kind of club Dean Smith wants to put on the floor.
Good tap back
to Doherty. And he came inside, and there was a foul against Moore.
That's a good job by Popson, tapping the ball back in a foul shot. Nobody blocking him out. Popson's starting to get confidence now. Last year, Brandon, he was a player that, of course, playing behind the likes of Perkins and with Michael Jordan. He really kind of went into a shell, but he's come out of it. And, of course, we showed at the top of the show hitting that shot against Maryland. Couldn't have hurt him. 67 to 70% free throw shooter. Doherty is in that range. Full court short man-to-man pressure.
The only missed shots in this game so far have been free throws. Both teams have been perfect from the floor. Here is Wright, and he maintains that perfection.
He just went up over the top of Kenny Smith to get that jumper off. North Carolina really playing with 3 guards, because Peterson came in school as a guard. As a matter of fact, Peterson, Hale, and Smith were all point guards at one time. Wright is active, isn't he?
Good-looking athlete.
He really is. It's like he loves to play the game all day.
Peterson moving the ball to Doherty. So Smith gets inside, and Popson hits another field goal.
That was a set play. Doherty set the screen down in contact. Popson rolled right in there. Now North Carolina goes to his zone.
These two clubs are red hot. Here's Konkak inside.
He's an NBA super pro. He has had better stats than all the good big men he's played against.
These two teams are 10 for 10 from the floor right now. And there's the first miss.
Oh, good strength by Davis. Popson wanted that basket. Good passing, and both teams going inside against that zone. Yesterday, remember in the Duke game, Popson puts it up. There was Davis, just with too much strength.
Warren Martin checks in for North Carolina. Popson leaving with those 2 personal fouls here in the early going. Now the Tar Heels are without the injured Joe Wolf, and that hurts this team. He gives them size inside. Dean Smith badly wants him back next week when they take on State and later Duke.
I thought Warren Martin got a little piece of Konkak's arm there.
Hale quickly brings it up to Buzz Peterson.
They have Warren Martin on Konkak. Dean Smith's probably going to double up all day long on that one. Hale with the foul.
So that is 4 team fouls against the Tar Heels. We'll be right back in Greensboro.
Life's not always easy, and no one said it's fair.
Only one card provides peace of mind for nearly 80 million Americans, the Blue Cross and Blue Shield card.
But you can find some peace of mind when you hold on to the one that cares. Carry on with the life you're living. Carry the caring card.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield card.
Give me a light. Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Give me a light. Bud Light. Hold this, will you?
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light, because everything else is just a light.
Strike.
The minute you see the Mazda 626 sports sedan, you know you're looking at a very refined road car. And when you look closer, you discover a comfortable driver's seat that adjusts 6 ways, unexpectedly complete instrumentation, and you feel a smooth shifting 5-speed. At $84.95, you also know you're looking at an impressive value. But once you get behind the wheel, the looking all stops and the fun begins. Mazda 626 sports sedan. Experience it.
Sunday, right after 60 Minutes.
I am afraid that Rita Bristol is in a great deal of danger.
The curtain comes up on Murder. Milton Berle guest stars with Angela Lansbury in Murder, She Wrote.
Last time Jerry West of the Lakers got a Tar Heel, his name was James Worthy. The last time Rod Thorne of the Chicago Bulls got a Tar Heel, his name was Michael Jordan. They're looking for more gems here this afternoon.
Yeah, 2 pretty good picks.
Both out of West Virginia.
Right, Princeton and Cabin Creek. And both had outstanding careers up there. Rod Hundley was the first of that great threesome that they had go through West Virginia.